Welcome to Self-Perfected.
We're live now?
Mhm.
Hey, everybody. All right, we're just going to start off with a little bit of music, and then we'll jump into it.
It's the mark we make, defined by the words we speak. In the mind, designed to feed you with the energy of bias, of war and destruction. Every breath, every choice, it's a reflection. Resurrect. Born as the word. You a creator in the flesh, but your words misplaced, quick to lead to your death. Separate yourself, give your soul for a check. Now you trading with the devil, got no life left. Power in your tongue, that's the key to the game. But greed twist the gift, got you chasing the fame. You hustle on the market, selling earth for a dime, but the planet can't breathe, now you running out of time. You take, you take, you take, never give what's left of your soul when you cease to live. The word ain't a weapon, it's meant to heal, but you flipped it for currency, forgot what's real. Trading with death, don't let it define you. Selling your breath, the truth's gonna remind you. Living the word, that's the way to design you. Life in alignment, the purpose will find you. Now they call it free choice, but you blinded by chains. Persuasion in the system got you playing their games. Fair trade, nah, it's unfair by design. Commodify the planet, leave the people behind. Man, you take from the earth, but don't give it respect. You extract, you subtract while you cashing the check. But at the end of the road, when the mirror reflects, you gon' face your creation, feel the weight of neglect. Do unto others like you do for yourself. Give as you receive, this is generational wealth. But you flipped the script, made it all self-interest. Now your happiness fleeting, your soul. Now picture your death, what's left in your name. The same words you created, they're your shackles and chains. Karma cuts deep like a knife to the veins. You traded with death and now you reap what remains. Imagine if you gave life instead of taking. Built a world on love, not on wealth forsaken. But you fed the machine, turned your breath into green. Now the future you left, it's a broken dream. Trading with death, don't let it define you. Selling your breath, the truth's gonna remind you. Living the word, that's the way to design you. Life in alignment, the purpose will find you. It's the mark of your being, not the mark of the beast. It's the choices you make, the wars you unleash. Do you build or destroy? Do you take or release? Do you live as the word or let your power cease? Yeah, Jesus gave the keys, but the world ain't listen. Give as you receive, that's the mission. Trading with death, now it's time to rewrite. This the word of the living, this the word of life.
That's hot.
Damn. Stop the trade, live the word.
All right,
Who needs mainstream music when you got this?
I'll leave the rest for you guys to listen to on your own. Man, version 4.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Cameron's Facebook, or
We've been
YouTube.
going crazy on there. I was just sending you guys a text, some other videos. It's been a crazy week in college football, in case you haven't noticed.
No, I don't watch college football.
I don't either, but on
Did they
X,
accept
I
your
know
first,
about
transgender woman into the game.
no, but no, I just know from on X they're showing like I saw at least three incidents of different games where like the team would go after they won and like put their flag in the end zone or whatever, like or on like the symbol of it's like on the home team or whatever, I guess, and they would put their flag on it, and then there's like a brawl that happens after that because they start fighting. And there's like I sent you 2 of them. There was one, I don't know if I sent you the first one I saw. It happened at like Ohio State, Michigan, or no, Oklahoma. What is it? OSU? Is that Oklahoma? Yeah. I can't tell. Is OSU Oklahoma? I don't know. I
Maybe.
don't fucking know, dude.
I don't know.
What is this one? Here's a blue team.
A blue team.
Oh, the blue teams and the red teams.
Blue team and the red team. Are we
You
talking
Blue
about
and the
politics or
reds.
what?
guys remember Phoenix University? You know
What is
that
this one?
Oh yeah, I do remember Phoenix
I
actually.
literally can't even tell
Phoenix
who these
University
people
as a
are.
team.
Is
Well,
their
everyone
mascot the
expected to a
Phoenix?
team.
Because if it's not,
Well, they don't have a football team.
Apparently they went bankrupt.
Let's-
but it's just funny because it's like I watched one of the videos. The guy takes the flag and like throws it, and then the other guy comes up to him like they're about to fight, and then they start fighting, and I'm like, "You're gonna fight over that?
Why?
Why?" I mean, it's like watching Palestine versus Israel. You know, literally, it's literally the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
Why?
Man, there's just like there's so much. What is this? Oh, Halo. Oh, okay, all right. There's a lot of good stuff here. A lot of
Halo?
good stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
the people kissing each other?
Yeah, that one.
Which one was that? Oh, the Halo thing, dude.
Halo.
What the fuck,
Dude,
man?
Halo's changed, man. Used to be so cool. It's like
Let's-
that guy.
More
right?
like
And then he's got
Galo.
The female. That was the first one to ever get guys to want to imprint a chip into their head so they could have an AI girlfriend. That was the original AI girlfriend. Was Halo.
Oh, you want me to play AI Girlfriend?
No, I just want to
Play the
watch
song for that.
that Halo clip that you posted.
Real quick, before we go into that, I was going to tell you about this book I'm reading. And Katie read this a long time ago. I think it's the only Philip K. Dick book she's ever read, she said. And I had not read it. And I'm kind of getting towards the end of all the ones I haven't read, you know, of the ones I have. And it's called Eye in the Sky. And it's good, man. I'm only like a quarter of the way through, but it's so good. And the basic idea is that there's like this accident and these people get injured and then they end up like waking up in the hospital and they're in a different reality, although it's the same reality. They don't notice any difference at first. The only difference is like everything is based on, it's like they're like physical laws don't really matter anymore. Like I'll give you an example. Like the guy, he's in his car won't start, and he pulls out the manual from like the dashboard to see what to do, and there's no instructions on how to fix the car in it. It's just a book of prayers. And so he's like, "Dear Lord, you are the one true God." And as he's doing this prayer, like the car starts, right? And there's a scene where they're in this bar, and one of the guys, so there's like a few of the people that like are from the other reality that know there's something different, right? And he's observing this like vending machine, you know, those cigarette vending machines they have sometimes in bars. I don't know if they still have them, but
No,
you know what I'm talking about.
I don't
You
know.
know?
if
Wait,
they
you
still
can
have-
buy a single cigarette?
No, you buy like a pack of
Like a
cigarettes
pack.
from a
It's got like
vending
all the
Oh.
packs, and then like you like put, you know, it's like a vending machine that gives you a pack of
They
cigarettes.
they don't have those anymore unless you go to like a like really like small town bar
Okay.
or something like that.
Well, anyways, the guy's observing, and he's like, I don't know how he realizes this, but he's like, there's no cigarettes in there because they have like the model packs at the top that you can see. He's like, there's no reservoir, is what he says. Like, there's
Okay.
nothing, there's no containing, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
like
yeah.
stock of cigarettes in there. And the guy's like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I know. I don't know how he knows, but there isn't. So they open the machine up, and there's no. They call it a reservoir. I don't know why they use that specific term. He's like, there's no reservoir. Like, there's just the model packs. And he puts the dime in or whatever, and they observe like the machinery of it, and they see like at a certain point, it's like another pack appears next to the other one. It just starts sliding out, and he's like, so then they're like, dude, this is crazy. It's like literally just replicating like multiplying out of nothing, right? Like they're like the fish and the loaves, right?
Yeah.
And then they replace it with a candy bar, and they try it, and it works.
Oh.
And then they hook up this pipe so that feeds back into it, and they pour like brandy in it, and then it like creates this like, so like 3 parts brandy comes out and 1 part goes back in to feed back in, and then they're like free drinks for everybody, right? And so it's like this infinite supply.
Yeah.
And then there's just all these different parts so far. I'm only, again, I'm not that far into it, but there's all these points where something happens, and he'll be like, they'll just be like, just pray about it, and the guy will start praying, and then like he'll get whatever he needs. Like he needed some money, and then he started praying, and like all these coins started showering down on him, right? But then he gets pissed off because he's like, he's like, this is so arbitrary. He's like, how come this prayer over here is answered, but this one over here wasn't? Like, he's like noticing this discrepancy. And
Yeah.
so it's this really cool commentary on the whole point of prayer and like how people believe. And they have all these good luck charms. Like, there's this one guy, he like opens up his jacket. He's got all these like charms, so he's able to do like whatever he wants because he like has like the charms and the spells and like the prayers and shit to like counteract anything or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's just so good. I really highly suggest anybody read it because it was kind of one I wasn't thinking I was gonna like, but
It's so
really
interesting. Like I feel like I've heard of this story before, but I never. Somebody was telling me about a story, and maybe it's different, but about a story of like a sci-fi story in the future where the protagonist like has to do some prayer or something and believe that the thing will work in order for it to work. And the more belief that you have that it'll work, the more it works. But people are like so fearful or whatever that things don't work that they don't work. And so like
uh,
maybe it's a different sci-fi.
I don't know if that ends up being a part of it or not, but
Okay.
yeah, it sounds like a cool premise for a sci-fi. Um, but yeah,
I
I
read
definitely
the
recommend it.
Book of Job, the sci-fi one. It's like Robert Heinlein.
The Heinlein, yeah, I've read like a third of it.
Yeah, I just started it.
It's
I found it
it's
as a
pretty
book.
good though.
Yeah,
How
it came
far
the
are
same
you?
day
How far are you
yesterday.
into it?
I'm not far.
Oh, okay. I haven't even got to
I'm
the weird stuff
1%
yet.
in.
I haven't even got to the weird stuff yet. I mean, well, it starts off weird, but I mean, like it progressively like evolves in the book, and I haven't even got to the part where it's obviously like there's gods or anything like that. I don't know if that ever happens because I haven't read it, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
it's
That one's
interesting.
good
It
too.
like shifts. I love reading those books because it shifts your perspective. You know.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good one.
Okay. All right.
What else? Got
I've
some.
got many tabs open.
Oh boy.
Last week, uh Sandro commented. He's like, Drake, I think you have a problem. Wait till you see this week.
Oh, with your tabs, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, there's too many tabs open. Um,
My great grandmother used to drink tab.
oh,
We would have just cases of it.
I think it must be a southern thing because I had
I
these
don't think I've
neighbors that
ever
were
had tab.
southern and they had tab. Tastes like bubble gum.
Dude, I literally grew up my whole childhood with my great grandmother drinking like cases of tab, and I until not that long ago, I thought tab was like a like iced tea. I don't know why.
No, isn't it like bubble gum
It's like
flavor?
a soda. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
bubble gum.
it's kind of like it's like Dr. No, I might be thinking of what are they like Big Red or something?
Oh yeah, Big Red. That's a different thing.
Big Red is a
I,
gum.
no, Big Red's a drink, and it's disgusting. Yeah, it's like a weird ass bubblegum flavor. You're right, and I never liked it.
Tab is
What?
or Big Red.
Big Red.
Yeah, I don't know about these
No,
things.
they're.
Big Red.
I'm sure Tab is disgusting. Tab is kind of like a Coke. It's kind of like a Pepsi thing.
I don't know anything about what
Yeah,
you guys
it's
are
like a
talking
cream
about.
soda flavor.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Tab?
Okay,
Cream
Big
soda.
Red is the one I was thinking, is the
Yeah,
southern US.
it's disgusting.
Hey, it was created in Waco, Texas.
Before or after?
Way before 1937.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what led to the downfall of David
Maybe
Koresh.
that's what it was. It was
Part of the prophecy.
yeah. What is this gang stalking individuals? I didn't watch this. Oh, it was an hour long. That's why I didn't watch it.
Oh
Sorry.
man, crazy shit, man.
Yeah.
I've seen this on and off. Like that stuff will get recommended to me, but there's these people who believe that they're being gang stalked,
Uh-huh.
and
What does that mean?
it's like from their perspective, they and there's different. Again, there's like rabbit holes upon rabbit holes upon rabbit holes, but like kind of like a general one is that they call themselves targeted individuals,
Uh-huh.
and they believe that they've been specifically targeted. The most general theme is like kind of by like the government at some level, or like,
So they're like a paranoid schizophrenic of some sort?
I mean, that's what they are.
Uh-huh.
But they would say like, no, like I'm not paranoid, like it's really happening, you're just believing me and you're gaslighting me. And then the part where you know it's fake is when they're like, and that's how I know you're one of them, and you're like, dude, I'm not,
Oh wow. Damn.
but
But hang on, hang
I mean,
on. Because they could be just MK Ultra to the point where they're like, they fucking don't know anymore what's real or
here's
not.
the thing, it is a possibility that
Yeah.
there are people who are being gang stalked and are, you know, targeted by the government to be harassed and tortured. And that is a possibility. Like, I'm not denying that it even is happening.
Right.
But the problem with it is then you start, and I sent that video, and it was, they talked about a bunch of different points. It was kind of like almost like a documentary on it. They talked about this woman, and I wish I could remember her name. She's kind of at the beginning of the documentary. And
Whitney Webb.
no, it's not Whitney Webb. It's this, she was like, I don't know if fashion designer is the right word.
That explains Whitney Webb.
I don't know if fashion designer is the right word, but she was like, she like worked for Estee Lauder, and she was like apparently like up and coming like in that world. It wasn't just some random person.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know, kind of developing her brand and everything in there and all that stuff. And so she was kind of becoming a part of the system. And then at some point, I don't remember the whole story, but it's like she started having this point where she was being like harassed, and they show different clips of like her having like the fire department come because she says people are like leaking gas in her apartment and they won't check it out. And so she was like also going to seminary school. And I know I'm kind of rambling, but it's like there's all these like points, but she,
He said Jesus was also stalking her.
I'm trying to formulate it like what I see what's going on.
Uh-huh.
It's like, imagine you start going to this delusion of like getting closer to God and Jesus, and like you're a spiritual person and you're a spiritual warrior. And then as part of that, you have all these really negative things happening. And then that's evidence that you're being tested by God.
Oh man. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Because there's a lot of Christians right now who are like, see, we're the ones who are always persecuted. Like Candace Owens. Candace Owens. She's like, Christians are always persecuted and blah 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 blah. But also Jews say that. Jews are always like, we're the ones who
Do
are
they?
always persecuted. Jews?
Did they say that?
That they're always persecuted? That
I've
they're always
never
like
known them.
attacked?
I've never known them to act like that. Honestly, every Jew I've ever known has been very forthright.
Cameron is 1/16th Jewish.
Oh.
Dude, we need to do the 23andMe reveal live on the podcast sometime. Just
That's like
we did that
3%.
autism test.
160.
3%? Oh, okay. Oh,
Carry the
only
one.
3%. Okay, so less.
No, it's less than 116.
Do you
Yeah.
get to wear a yarmulke then, Cameron? Or is that like
It'd have to be
16
like-
times 3 is 48.
Yeah, so it's not 116. It's got to be like
It's like
120.
134th.
Okay, yeah.
Let me do the math. Hold on.
133rd. 133rd. Or
Oh yeah.
3%. There you go. Yeah. Duh.
1 divided by 34. 0.029. That was pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know,
you can't get
as,
closer than that.
yeah, in a future episode, we may do a 23andMe case study on Cameron. Just
We've
like
done
we did
it.
the autism.
We just did it.
Really?
that was it.
I'm mostly,
I didn't actually see it.
according to this fucking, you know who owns it, right? But
Susan? Wojak?
Wojcicki?
Susan Wife Jack.
Wife Jack. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the one.
Yeah. I'm mostly apparently British, Irish. No, not really Irish. I don't remember. I don't think it was Irish. British.
Are you like royalty
German.
British or like
Did
like,
you
Do
say,
I look
don't
like
think
I fucking live in a
like fish
castle,
and
Mitch?
chips?
Fish and chips. The
Oh
fuck?
wait, sorry, I forgot the royal family is not actually British.
Right. I said I was
Well, then
British.
Right.
But
my
then
bad.
there's the other parts.
So you're like the suppressed.
No, it straight up says Ashkenazi Jew. I'm like, what does
I don't
that
know.
even mean? How is that a specific genetics? I don't understand. That's weird, right?
Maybe because like in in Israel it's like illegal to obtain a DNA report.
So they say.
So they say. I don't
Really?
know. That's what they say. They're like,
That
you
could
go
just
online,
be liberal media propaganda.
So
liberal
is this
media.
Cameron? Is this why you think you're being gang stalked?
I think that would be conservative media propaganda.
So okay. You know how like the Q people
Uh-huh.
also somehow that was tied into like Christianity?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? I don't even know how exactly, but it's like if you're super like hard, like weird, I don't know, Christian, that was
It's
like
because
also
that picture You saw the picture of
I
like Trump
guess it's
at
like
his
somehow
desk,
God is
and
on
Jesus is
God's,
behind him with his hands
but
open.
but but it's like the
That one.
Christian mind
That was the actual
also
picture.
easily accepts like hardcore conspiracy theory. It's weird. I mean, I guess if you think about it, the whole Christianity is a conspiracy theory.
Somebody
Yeah,
conspired.
but it's like the total mysticism. You know, I'll have some people on my Facebook feed where they're just like totally accepting that there is no way to perfect yourself, and Jesus is the only perfect one, and he died for your sins and is your savior and all that. And it's like that level of thinking is also very prone to then looking at mysticism too, like, ooh, there's this cabal that's running the world, you know, and it's Satan to test us, you know.
Think about the mindset of somebody who goes to seminary.
Yeah, they're looking for a solution.
Or they're just looking perhaps also to be special. I mean, there may be somebody who's looking for that because they don't know where else to go. But it's like, imagine you want that credential of like
Okay, okay, Cameron, this is
I
why
have a degree in God.
this is why I have a degree in God. Anyway, this is why I keep telling you, right? We need a fiction book. We need a fiction book. Okay, like, because that's what people want to be, the character in the book. And it's like that's how there's a lot of people out there who just cannot fathom, they can't understand the reality of the world that we live in. Okay, here's a great example. You know those clips of or the PBD podcast that he did with that woman who was abused, and she says she was in like the Rockefeller's home, and all that, and she was being abused as a child there, right? So Christine just watched the entire thing. I watched clips of it. She watched the entire thing, and she was like, it was kind of weird the way that PBD was attacking her. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, because he was the
It,
way that she was.
it was like similar to how we pushed back on Dan Bilzerian.
I didn't see, well,
Okay,
was it like he was like, oh, you can't be like the Jews because then everybody's gonna say that's what he was doing, right?
kind of
Christine,
that
was
kind
it
of
like
thing.
that, or was it a different kind of pushback? Can you confirm in the chat for
I don't
us?
know if she can.
Was it like I'm assuming up front you're crazy? That's probably.
No, it was more so like the way that she was describing it to me. He was like, but how did you not know that this was David Rockefeller? Because she was like, I didn't know his name. Like I just knew him as David. Like I was a
Didn't she
kid.
get started when she was 5 though?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like he's like, how did you not know that, David Rockefeller was the guy who was, abusing you or whatever? Like he's such a famous person or whatever. And she's like, I didn't know who that was. Like, um,
You just call it's called not having context, you fucking dipshit.
right, right. And then he was like apparently trying to like well, why don't you call these people out now or whatever?
It's like, what do you think I'm doing, you asshole?
But no, she was like, no, but she was specifically making like the distinction of like, I will only say their name if they're dead because I
Oh,
don't want
gotcha.
to
Yeah.
catch any of this.
Is
Like,
David Rockefeller dead? The guy she was talking about?
yeah, he
Yeah.
died in 2017, right?
Oh, not in the house fire.
Which, oh no,
No,
that was
that
the
was more
other, that
recent
was
one,
a
I think.
Rothschild. That was a Rothschild.
Oh, what's the difference?
Blue team, red team, blue team, red team.
Is that how it works?
Blue team, red team. But no, she was making this point as well of like how she's like clearly going through something on the podcast. Like she's like all right, I'm gonna say it, and like because she was not trying to say his name or whatever, and she's like, all right, I'm just gonna say it, and like she's got tears and all that, and she's like, it's weird because I still feel this like sort of affection for him, and even though I know like he abused me and all this stuff, and then Patrick Mede was like, you feel affection for him, like he couldn't fathom it, like he couldn't understand that she would still feel something. She's like, yeah, I mean, like I was a kid, and like he groomed me, like that's and so there's still something there. Like I still feel like a sense of loyalty to him. But like I know I don't want to, and like I know he's a bad person, all this stuff, but like there's still a part of me, and I worked through this in therapy and all this stuff, but like there's still a part of me that still feels that sense of loyalty towards him, and like I'm doing something wrong by calling out his name and all that sort of stuff.
Isn't it possible that they put that in there? Do you know what I
Dude,
mean?
one thing
Oh,
that she says is like, she was calling out this other guy, Harmon, I think his name was, or something like that, but some
Oh,
European
that
guy.
psychiatrist,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
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 That shit was crazy, dude. I looked that guy up. You look at a picture of him.
He looks like, but she says when she sees his face, so like what she would do is they were apparently like training her to be the way that she was describing it is like to be really intuitive so that when she would see somebody, she would know what they want
Mm.
because her job was to go and be like I guess some entertainment for all these really rich people, powerful people, or whatever, and then report back and say, "Hey, this person likes this sort of thing," and so that now I've got some like intel on them of what
Like you
they want.
imagine like a geisha who's like in tune with what the guests need and like kind of
Yes,
knows like, oh, this guy likes his feet rubbed. That would really like make him relax. Or
right,
this
right,
guy
right,
would
right.
like that. But then she can kind of zone in on like what, and then you think about um they have systems and ways of identifying people who have certain abilities,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, and so
That's
she
what
was
the
like,
school system is, by the way, if you really look at it.
"Yeah,
It's
definitely."
like it's like
Who's got the
people are people
managerial
people are
responsibility?
just people are just out there banging each other left and right. Okay, babies are being born. It's a genetic lottery. The elite need to be able to know, like, hey, is there any really talented dude? It's like Suno. It's like you're on here and you're like click 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 click, and then you're like, oh, finally a good one, awesome. Like that's like the population reproducing. It's like this constant like AI generating like new versions of people, and the
Yeah,
elite need to be able to figure out like, oh, this one guy's really good at mathematics, or this one guy's over here really good at this, or like this other point, right?
yeah. So what she was saying was that guy, he was training her to be more intuitive, and one of the things that he would do is like he would show her a face and be like, okay, what is this guy like? What does this guy want? Right? And if she got it wrong, he would choke her or strangle her, right? Until she passed out. And so, but before he
Kind
would
of
do
sounds like
that,
how you train an AI. No, I'm serious,
what
isn't
do you
it?
mean? What do you mean?
When they show you the picture, is this a cat? Nope.
Yeah.
Is this a cat?
Choke.
Yes. Bing, bing, bing. Like they literally give it positive and negative reinforcement. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
it's
Okay, yeah.
not thinking about what's the answer. You're training it.
Yeah.
Like you already know the answer, so you're training it. So only when it gives you if it gives you the response you don't want, you punish it, and when it gives you the response you do
Right.
want, you reward it. You're programming an AI.
Right. So what she was saying was when she sees that guy's face, like for years, when she would see like a picture of him, like immediately she would feel like she's choking.
Mm,
And so she never felt like she could say anything about that guy
mm.
because it was like, I'm gonna die. As soon as I see his face, I start choking. I'm gonna die. He'll find me. He'll choke me. That was the like what you're
Dude,
saying, like what was programmed into her.
like people could focus in on just this thing as if it's some unique point of like, oh, these evil guys like did this to her, and that's true, but that type of programming of somebody is just how you program people. So you could do that in school. How
Yeah.
many people, when they see math problems, they're like, I'm gonna fucking die, or like,
Right.
oh, that's you were just trauma. It's just, but because you don't, it's like okay,
Dude, oh, you know what I was just thinking when you
what?
just said that? Because I remember long ago, I had a tutoring client who the mom was like, I presented her with just some like really simple, like, what's 1/10 of five or something like that, you know? And she looked at me and she was like, no, I can't. I don't embarrass me in front of my kid. I was like, really? And she's like, don't do this. Like I can't. Like I'm not at all with fractions. And I just realized this. I just put this together. I met her sister who was a teacher, and her sister also was avoiding doing the exam for the teaching certificate. Like it's been like, I don't know, 5, 10 years since she took the exam, and like she needed to take it like 3 years ago or whatever. And she's just been avoiding it. And she's like, no, I can't take that exam why? Because it's got like fractions and math, and I just can't. And I'm like, I just realized both of them had that same trauma as kids of fractions or whatever the case is, because they both have the same exact like, just I can't. It's too much, and it's
And the
scary to
woman
me.
was a teacher.
She was a teacher, elementary school, but still a teacher.
It's like,
Yeah. It's interesting the term for it that they use in like the whatever the societies or in like MK Ultra, they call it monarch programming. And I never understood why they called it that, so I looked it up.
Uh-huh.
And then it became really obvious. It's like you have a monarch butterfly. So the whole premise is you get it when it's a caterpillar, and then you like totally fucking abuse it when it's in the cocoon. And then what comes out is your creation. It's literally what the system is doing to everyone right now.
Wow. Wow.
well, I was gonna say like people. Can you imagine somebody listening about this Rockefeller thing and this woman there, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know. It sounds a little far fetched or whatever, right?" But could you imagine Hitler doing that?
Yeah, or like any of his scientists.
Like, could you imagine anybody who you already know is evil doing it?
That's the story we're
Oh
told.
yeah, I could see them totally doing that. It's like, okay, so you admit it's possible.
Right.
Isn't it like I was thinking about this the other day? Because now people are upset about those who we shall not name. Um, they don't
Literally.
they don't want to say it. They don't want to say it. But
Darren's gonna have a Suno song about that one.
I got to get around the algorithm. No, but it's like I'm trying to think of how to explain it. It's like the people that you perceive as the most good. Like imagine you're in a novel or a movie. Wouldn't it be more likely that those are the ones that are the evil ones? Like the ones you're not allowed to question, the ones that are at the top, the ones that are running everything, and you're like, well, no, they're totally good. I'm like, who else would it be? Don't you think it'd probably be those people that are the ones that are running everything? It's like, no, they're totally good. So you just imagine that if there are these evil people, they're just somebody like imagine being like, well, the government doesn't do conspiracy theories on anybody. Like they don't do I'm trying to say they don't do red flag or well, not red flags. What is it called? False flags and all that kind of shit. And it's like,
Yeah.
do you just think they're totally benevolent?
They don't do
So who is doing the evil shit in this world? Just like a random person? Like
they don't
I
do
think people, because
JFKs,
I know a lot of people like this that are
do
generally still
MLKs.
trusting. They're trusting of the system. It's like they think on average people are good, and then there's a few bad actors
okay,
who get
but
into those
look, you just said
positions.
it. They trust the system, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's like that woman going like, I still feel this loyalty somehow to this guy. I can't explain. It's because it's like when someone was abusing you, but they're also your only source of protection and safety and security in the world, you have to trust them.
I mean, there's a
Right.
whole thing called Stockholm syndrome. It's like,
Right. Right.
but everybody experiences this. Everybody
Right.
experiences this.
Well, and here's a really big point too for the listeners, like understanding that how the world, so the world system has been collapsing, well, really since its inception, but especially over the past 20 years, it's like you see the things that used to work
And
aren't
he said,
working anymore.
sounds like Christians with God, like
What,
the whole
what do you mean?
loyalty point.
Oh,
Like,
right. Right. Well, yeah, because it's like you see how it's like, for example, the fact that your parents could go to school, graduate with a job, make 100K a year pretty quickly, et cetera. It's like that old idea of the system, which by the way didn't work for, even half the people. But
Right.
it's like that is not possible anymore. And now you see with all the stuff that's getting exposed to, it's like the old controls of the system are no more. But with that, it's the same thing that was keeping everyone's mind intact. So you'd have people that could be like crazy and they would just like kind of get self-contained. Now it's like you're seeing this. I mean, look at how you opened the podcast with the red team and the blue team in football. There's like three different fights this weekend. It's like that's happening within all of us. But here's my main point is that process is accelerating.
Hmm.
And it's like we're all being forced to this point of really having to look at ourselves. So you can either use that if you know this process and you're here to perfect yourself, you can get real-time feedback from your world that much quicker, so you can actually accelerate your process, or you're going to get punched in the face that much, at a higher frequency too, until you actually wake up. So that's what we're all dealing with right now. That's like the meta context we find ourselves in, is like everything is fucking speeding up, so plan wisely.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, you guys want to see the tabs that I have open?
Do it. Tab. Brought to you by Tab.
Brought to you by Sandro. Let's call this. We call this the Sandro Hour. Brought to you by Tab.
Brought
We're
to you by
sponsored. We're
tab.
sponsored by Tab.
Okay, so this is David Icke. You guys know
Dude,
David.
I love David Icke, man.
You
I
love
think
David
he
Icke?
literally just sits on X all day, like searches like Illuminati, whatever, and then he like finds posts and he just like sits all day like yelling at Elon Musk and Alex Jones and Trump. You know what I mean? Like, go, look at his fucking timeline. It's like all
It's
he
like
does all day.
I've never seen him agree with anything that any person in power has said.
Your new FBI will be first stooge. Next photo of the day. So I don't know what that shit's about. Keep going.
Oh, that's the milk. That's the milk that's been through the cows.
Oh,
Arla,
oh, the
that's the company.
Bovaer. Yeah, that's right. Mm. Still full of that Bovaer. Nobody wants that shit, basically. But I hear now
Dude, they
they're
have the
mixing
same
it.
fucking symbol as what is that? It's like
What are you talking about?
Monsanto or one of them. You see the Arla symbol on there, like the green with the
Uh
circle?
huh.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like the
Oh
same
yeah, yeah.
fucking
It,
thing as
it, it
like
looks like
I think it's
Roundup. It
It
looks like
looks like
Roundup.
yeah, that's the one.
or
Yeah,
canola
is it
oil.
Monsanto?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the same fucking thing. Dude,
yeah.
fuck them.
Interesting.
Wait, what
Oh,
was that by the way? Oh, okay, it's milk. I was like, why isn't it in the fridge? But it probably is.
yeah.
Who
It
knows?
looks like it's in the fridge. You know this thing? You know that thing?
Ooh, I've not seen this.
This is
Ooh,
what
all the way into Africa?
that's.
Oh, dude, I've got a whole theory about
Egypt,
that,
right?
man.
Yeah. Ooh,
It's
what
like
is it? What is it?
you see something, and then doesn't sometimes your mind just goes, oh,
Uh-huh.
and it's like Israel.
Into Turkey
I,
too.
I don't know if this sounds crazy, but like Israel is going to be the next United States, not like in a
I,
good way, but
I
like
knew
in
you
a
were gonna say that.
the next empire.
Uh-huh.
Everything is like all accumulating right there. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna be that, but that's what they want. They want it to be like the next world empire.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Oh, look, this is just 40 minutes ago. To think they called
Ooh,
me
this
mad
guy's
30 years
on.
ago when I said this is how government worked. Now here's Boris Johnson, former chief advisor, admitting it. Funny old world. I think that how David Icke talks? He's got the British accent. It's
I don't know, but he always does like this when he talks. His hands always look like this.
it's like an old man.
Like he's always like this. It's
He's
weird.
like his own puppet master.
Do you know that? You notice that? Like his hands. He always it's like, I'm like, what's wrong with his
He
hands?
should update his profile picture to have that. Just so I can make sure I know that that's David Icke.
It's like, are you
uh,
trying to convince us you're AI?
yeah. Oh, building seven classes in Newcastle. This is great. Let's see it. Come on, make it happen. When's the free fall?
Anyways, I'm not
Oh,
trying to
there
talk
it
shit
goes.
about David Icke, but it is funny because every post I see from him is him being like it's like Elon Musk saying something and then him being like, we all know you're a shill for the blah blah blah, it's
So
like every time.
he's kind of like Dr. Shiva, or like all the
Dude, Shiva's
positive.
crazy.
Dr. Shiva says the wildest shit, and everyone's like, "Why are you so vile?"
Dude, he
Oh man.
is really
Yeah,
vile.
but
I saw somebody from our group who like has like kind of like gone away for a while and like not really it's like kind of isolated themselves and then like they're posting like joining like Deep Shiva's whatever or something. I'm like, you just want to follow somebody, man.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but yeah, he's basically just pointing out that Elon or not Elon, why did I say Elon? Trump is calling himself the father of the vaccine,
well,
and he's
yeah,
surrounding
it's just pretty
himself
crazy.
with all the people who basically agree. Just like we pointed out last week, that woman who's going to be the Surgeon General, right? She's basically like, "Oh yeah, the vaccine's the
She
best
was a
thing."
TikTok nurse dancer,
Oh my gosh, yeah,
dude.
yeah, issues there. What else we got going on? Oh, that's that. Oh, uh, This is the NATO Military Committee chairman. He says, "We need a preemptive strike against Russia. That should be considered." Not surprising that he would say that. Not surprising.
Man,
It didn't that was the language they used on about like Iraq and all that, right? Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, here's some cool stuff. I like seeing this stuff. Ivermectin, the future of cancer treatment.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I find it
Conspiracy.
really,
Look at that
really
map.
interesting though that
I mean, look at that graph. Like that proves it right there, doesn't it?
I
Pack
find
ones.
it super interesting that this has been like hardcore suppressed. Like, no, nobody's supposed to look at this. But like it kind of came out like as a okay, if they didn't do the COVID thing,
I know. That's what's
then
weird.
nobody
People
would
wouldn't
know
have been
about
doing
this.
this. They wouldn't have been
Yeah.
taking fucking ivermectin left and right.
Right.
And now they're like, oh,
Don't
dude,
tell
like,
me ivermectin is like the new Ozempic.
dude, no. It's like in a
No.
good way. It's like the actualism. I mean,
Oh, like in a good way. Okay.
I haven't tested it. I'm just looking at fucking shit on Twitter.
ever taken
I don't
it?
know. No, I
You
haven't.
guys want to do an experiment where for a week we take ivermectin? And then-
All right,
Yeah,
dude.
but-
I'm gonna get some at Tractor Supply.
No, I actually got some. Okay, funny enough, I got invited to this meeting one time.
Did you have
Little
to
did
wear
I
a
know
mask?
it was a fucking Q meeting. It was funny. It wasn't actually a Q meeting, but the lady was the local Q like chairman, and it was like some like networking event they do like every week. And this guy was like really weird about inviting me. So I was just hanging out with him because he had like a kid, and I was like, oh, he's like into homeschooling. He's like, well, I am going to this meeting. Oh, it's with this thing called Nazara and Jazara. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that. I don't know much about it, but
Can you just Google it quick?
is it
It's
sort of
the-
like a new Earth? Like technologies are coming, kind of.
It seems to have a little bit more. No.
Whoa,
No.
Jake! Whoa!
Hey,
Sorry,
Bro.
Jazar.
Nesara.
NESARA, all caps. Well, it doesn't matter in here.
He starts typing Nazi shit over here. Nasara
Damn.
Jasara.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's
What am I
this.
looking
It's
for?
What's
like
this
a law.
executive order shit? Oh, I thought
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like some group thing. I had no idea.
No,
Okay,
it
my
is.
bad.
Okay. Look at Wikipedia. The National Economic Security and Recovery Act. Okay. So this was like the premise of this meeting. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, cool. These are people interested in like passing some legislation about,
I like that. It would become later the subject of a cult-like conspiracy theory.
right. So I go to this meeting, and then this lady, it was like this sick fucking setup too. It was like her back garage on her house, and then it
Was
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 it
it
like
her?
Shanini?
Was it
Was it Shanini?
Shiny Goodwin?
no, it wasn't her, but that must be like the higher up.
Did you go by
She
Candace?
was like the local version of this, right? And so, but I had seen this. I had seen a lot of these people at these different like COVID rally things that they do at the Capitol, to like protest the vaccine, whatever. I go to them just to check them out. And so anyway, then we're having this meeting, and she has like these fucking maps on her walls of like how all these groups are connected. You got the Jesuits and you got the New World Order. So I was like, oh shit, what did I walk into?
She was literally like the Charlie meme from Always Sunny.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but it was way more refined, and you could tell she like actually had money because it was like a nice ass like converted shed.
Okay.
I think she's retired and had nothing better to do, and then she got stuck in the echo chambers online. Anyway, long story short, I met this lady who's a nurse there, and she pulls out a big fucking Ziploc bag of all these pills, and she's like, "Okay, I got ivermectin. Who wants it?" I was like, really? She'd been like a nurse for like 20. It was kind of like someone who's like an
So,
Elisa.
long story
where,
short,
like
you
the
got the
extra
hookup on the
You got,
ivermectin.
you
I got the
the-
hookup. I actually got a bunch of
I got
ivermectin
bags
from
of this
America.
shit.
Because I was like, dude, if there's some other thing where I actually need this, like I'm gonna stock up, and it was like $2 a pill. So I'm loaded, guys. So I
Oh,
don't think
she
it's illegal
overcharged
to
you,
distribute
man.
ivermectin.
That
She
being
got me
said,
that
you can
hookup.
get some apple flavored paste at Tractor Supply, like a whole lifetime supply for like $50.
Yeah.
Apple-flavored
So I don't know if that one's the same one, but I got the hookup if anyone needs
No,
it.
I think I think you have like the actual human version.
Yeah, I think of the human grade one.
Well,
The lady's cool.
Wow. Wow.
The fact that it
but-
sounds crazy and it's like,
Right.
would
Listen,
it be less
so-
crazy if you were like, hey, I've got this bag of fucking like, and it's like chemotherapy pills or some shit. Like, would that seem,
Hold on.
that wouldn't be crazy, right? Because the pharmaceutical company said it
Right.
was
Or you think
legit.
of all the people who are actually like selling like recreational drugs
Hold
like
on.
that.
Like fucking Bayer says take an aspirin a day. Like that's not fucking crazy. Like
Right.
Yeah, dude. And then doesn't Bayer own Monsanto or vice
yeah,
versa?
yeah. They're owned by the same company, right?
Monsatan, as they call it.
Dude, okay. So now you got
Hey, look, this
the
guy had a PhD in systems theory.
oh,
Dude.
oh, that's pretty cool. You gotta be good at math to understand that, I think. At least somewhat good at math,
I would assume so.
right?
You just got to do your
Wait, go down a little bit.
technical
Based on a
levels.
theory that debt is the number one economic factor in continuing to grow through the economy.
Oh wow.
Pretty cool. He seems pretty cool.
Pretty
Yeah,
basic.
like I heard of, and Rebecca brought it up to me too. And so this guy's like, "Yeah, we're gonna talk about Nazar and Jazar," and I was like, "Okay, cool. Like I'll go
Yeah.
meet these people." But then what was so funny is then the whole time, the whole fucking meeting was them just waiting for the next message from this leader, and I was like, "Oh,
Right.
you
See,
guys
and
are
this, what are they
fucking- you guys
missing?
want
Is they're
saving."
missing the point of like an actual process for a person to change
Right.
themselves. Because
Right. So you can focus on that while then sharing it with other people and then growing. And then over time, you can get into politics so you don't have to wait on someone else in politics to do it.
I try to
Ta-da.
explain this to my physics teacher when I was in high school in ninth grade. He wasn't having it.
How are you explaining it, Drake?
He asked he asked if we
He's like, why do you deserve an A? You're like, well, I got a lot of B's, I got a lot of C's. So together, that's like the synergy. So you should give me an A.
yeah.
see you guys see I didn't even have to explain it to you guys. You guys understood.
Dude, that was an emergent property of the system, right?
Hey,
here.
actually, remember that story I told about that professor I had who like
Yeah.
Yeah.
he never answered questions? That's actually how he graded. You would get a bunch of grades on your test, but he didn't like calculate your grade at the end. He just looked at like, are you an A student or not? And they would give you a grade.
Dude, Drake,
Like for your final
Drake,
grade.
can you scroll down and click that word equifinality in the end of paragraph 2? Because sometimes I'll get lost in a Wikipedia rabbit hole and Wiktionary rabbit hole.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes those are profound.
It's a principle that in open systems, a given end state can be reached by many potential means. The term and concept is due to the German Hans Dreich, I don't know, the
And
developmental
it was Franz
biologist.
Drescher's ex-husband before Dr. Shiva.
I think
Yeah,
that just
remember he was married to Franz Drescher?
no, it was.
Yeah.
Is that
How do you not
real
know
thing?
that? The
Contrast
nanny?
to gold.
How do you not know this?
I don't know what you're talking about. Who's the name?
Dr. Shiva?
Dr. Shiva.
You don't know he was married to the nanny? How do you not know this?
Who was he married to?
Franz
Franz
Drescher.
Drescher.
Franz Drescher.
Oh, what?
Who is Fran
How did you
Drescher?
not
I don't
know
who Fran
this?
Drescher is.
I don't even know who this woman is.
The nanny. Oh, Mr.
Ah.
Sheffield.
Really?
You know, the
They were
nanny.
married?
Yes.
How?
I don't know.
What?
That's why I know it, because it doesn't make sense.
Dude, maybe Shiva thinks everyone's gang stalking him now because he actually is like married into some like fucking elite family.
So
Wait,
are they?
what? Drescher, the star of Happily Divorced? Shiva, come on! It was literally.
The writing was on the wall.
Yeah. All right.
Look, do you see it said who holds a patent for creating email? Did you see that?
Yeah.
He's like known for that. Yeah.
Go back to it. Look. But now people act like he's crazy for saying it.
Right. No, this is in People magazine, holds the patent for creating email. Matt Drescher. And
He's
now
totally
it's like-
normal, legit guy, no problem. This is 2014, right? Now
Yeah,
it's
now
like,
when he
oh,
says
crazy conspiracy theorist claims he created email.
Right. Yeah.
That's funny.
Every day is a
So-
celebration with Fran. Oh, that's nice.
So this may or may not be related to this Wikipedia article.
And that's how she became the nanny. So do you know this? Do you know the show?
I never
Yeah,
watched it.
I
but
mean, I
remember
know
watching
of it,
Okay,
yeah.
so now you understand my joke. His name was Hans Dreich, and I was saying that was the former husband of Fran Drescher because
Makes
it's
sense.
also systems theory, and
Yeah.
Shiva's in systems theory.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah.
Damn
No,
it.
it's good. It's good.
I'm trying to understand this. This is
I-
actually like I've never heard this equifinality before.
Yeah.
I'm trying to comprehend this.
It's just saying there's multiple ways to get to the same point.
So
And they're equal.
Would you say that? Okay, so let's say in the context then of self-perfection, creating the world to be best.
What is
for
an
all.
open system?
Oh, we're in a
Is it
closed system.
Well, I was just saying, what is an open system?
An open system?
don't actually know.
Where's the button here?
Click it.
An open system is a system that has external interactions, such as interactions can take the form of information, energy, or material transfers into or out of the system boundary, depending on the discipline which defines the concept. Okay, so pause right here. Remember when Cam sent us that Chris Langan thing that was like,
Mhm.
what's inside reality, what's outside reality, whatever,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Well, we don't have an
Reality is a
open
closed
system.
system.
We
Yeah,
have a
I
closed
see.
system
I see.
because anything that's part of reality is by definition included in reality. Anything
Okay,
outside of reality is by definition not
what's an
included in
example?
reality.
What's
It's
an
not
Well,
example
real.
of an
actually,
open system?
but if you think about it, the system that we have as humanity, we treat it as if it's open. So it's like you have this thing, and the elite are trying to constantly put inputs and stuff as if they're not a part of it, also. And we
Mhm.
treat our reality as if it's open. Like
Uh-huh.
we're on the outside, like doing this, but we don't realize we're a part of it too.
Yeah.
And like we're doing it to ourselves. So
Yeah.
there
What is
is
an
no
example
open.
of an open? I'm trying to actually fathom what an open system would be.
It's just saying that you have a boundary of the system to its environment, and the environment can put information into the system.
Here's an
Like a
example.
phone? Like is
Here,
my
here-
phone an open system?
here's an example of an open system. You have an ecosystem, right? But you can't control all the aspects of the ecosystem, like the air quality or the water quality, et cetera. Like maybe you might be able to watch, like, oh, okay, so we have these plants and they interact with these animals, whatever. But then there's a forest fire that, like, creates all this soot and, like, now all the
Mhm.
trees are covered with soot and shit. And now that completely changes your ecosystem. That would be like an example. I
Or
would
like,
think.
let's say you're trying to do an experiment and you've got a pot of water and some salt in it, and you're trying to measure how much the salt dissolves, right? Well, is the outside air that this container is in affecting the situation or not?
Well, technically, yeah.
Right. But in your mind, you're like, no, I'm not going to, it's a closed system. Like you're treating it as if it's closed.
Right. So
Right.
isn't
As
everything
if the
actually
out,
part of the one closed system? Because like even how we
obviously.
interpret the data, yeah. So like an
But,
open
but
system is
science treats things
actually
as closed
not real.
systems. They treat open systems as closed systems.
Yeah.
Every system that's not the entire thing is an open system from a certain perspective.
Yeah.
Right. But it's
Like your
none
child,
of
like
it
your
is
child.
actually
Okay, like people
literally
say,
nothing
like,
that's an independent system though. Right?
What?
It's all
what would
just
be
one
independent?
giant system. There
It's
is
all
nothing that is
interconnected.
independent.
Yeah.
Right.
I
But
mean,
that's science right here is it's trying to be like, no, this is a little closed system. This is an open system.
well, okay,
But in
think about
reality,
like
it's all just one
the two
reality.
slit experiment, right? Where
Yeah.
they're, oh,
Oh, look, it says here in natural sciences, an open system is one whose border is permeable to both energy and mass. By contrast, a closed system is permeable to energy, but not to matter.
oh,
So
okay,
it's
there
a
you go.
very technical point.
Okay, so
We're trying
okay,
to argue in generalities, but this is just a very
when
technical point.
when I used to I
And
used to
look, open system assumes there are supplies of energy that cannot be depleted.
okay.
Cameron, you should make a Suno song on this, but make it like industrial techno. That would be lit.
An open system.
It's all one system.
A closed system.
With like some Chris Langan one-liners in there.
Oh, what was that thing? What was that there's a live, I think it was Kraftwerk that you sent me, like from like
Mhm.
1980s or something like that. Was it?
Mhm. I don't
And,
know.
oh, Mitch, did you send it to Mitch too?
I don't think so.
I haven't
Oh
seen this
man,
one.
you should have sent it to Mitch. He would have
Dude,
loved
we need
it.
a song called "The System"
No,
by
Mitch, you would have
OAE.
loved it. It was a Kraftwerk song, but it was like a
Yeah.
live version of their song from like
Oh,
the
I know what you're
80s.
talking about.
And it was like um it was like business.
Business, money, people.
Money.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, it literally said that in the Kraftwerk
Yeah.
song?
Yes, you would have
And it
loved
was like
it.
playing it on a
What?
screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, interesting. It's like the commentary on society.
It was just like just how like in
It was the
techno like you
song
have like random just words just going,
Right.
right?
but their whole thing was about communications and technology, and like, yeah, they were like the band that was trying to like talk about that
Yeah.
Right.
information. You know, they have like this album called Computer World.
Yeah, I just Googled it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interpol and Deutsche Bank, FBI and Scotland.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what they-
exactly. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Business number money's people. I don't know what Scotland Yard is.
Okay,
It's
so
like it's like their investigative.
I just
Oh,
had to
wow.
go back and see what we were talking about.
That's
So
hilarious.
basically, Mitchell's got the ivermectin hookup. If you need some ivermectin, don't
Not
call Mitchell.
really.
Don't call Mitchell. Go to your
Mitch
Yeah,
is
I don't have
not-
that much.
Mitch
Mitch is
I'll
not
refer
selling
you to my lady.
ivermectin, guys. He's not selling ivermectin. They're just joking. I have to be very clear.
But if you wanted the recipe, I think it's like 3 days on, 4 days off, something like that. I don't know. I'm not saying I know it. I just heard of it before. Um, oh,
Yo, why do they look like they're skeletons?
Dude,
I don't
I don't know
understand.
what's going on with
who
this.
is this, by the way? Is
It's
that
very weird.
Why is she
It's
wearing a
Ariana
hat that's
Grande.
designed
that's
to be
Ariana
warm?
Grande?
Yeah.
No.
I did not recognize her.
No, it's
I
not.
thought that was just some
She's
random.
they're probably both on
Yeah.
Ozempic.
Wow.
Dude, what?
But
Oh,
they look
wait.
emaciated.
On Ozempic, fuck, where did I hear this? I heard this on, I don't know if it was something you guys sent me. That Ozempic, how it's working on your brain is it's like hacking the willpower or like the discipline pathways in the brain. So I wonder if you
I
can
mean, that's
use
not
Ozempic.
far-fetched. That's not far-fetched at all.
No, it was like it was something where I heard it. I was like, oh, that actually makes it was someone like Andrew Huberman or someone talking about it.
Like, okay, think
Where-
about it. Think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, how many drugs are out there? Like,
Isn't that
remember
what
that
all
movie?
drugs do? Is they hack
Yeah.
some pathway?
Isn't it like Requiem for a Dream? Remember that movie where
Yeah.
they're like
Yeah.
trying to take the weight loss drugs or whatever, but it's
Ass
like
to ass.
really-
If you've seen the movie, you get it. Watch the
that
movie, you'll
part,
get it.
like just does not.
I just what the fuck?
It was just so random.
yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, that was a
they're
crazy
basically
movie.
taking meth so that they lose weight or whatever. Like, and it's like this old lady who it's obviously hacking the decision-making center in her brain or whatever, you know?
Man, I don't even remember
Executive
that
function.
movie. Now that you're saying it, I'm like, oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, I remember that movie because it was just so weird. Like the refrigerator. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. Did
yeah,
you watch
yeah.
it, Mitch?
There's no way I processed it. I watched this like 10 years ago. Yeah, I don't remember anything from it.
Yeah, you don't have to watch it again. Don't worry. It was just a weird movie. But like, yeah, like you're saying, it's like it seems like that's pretty obvious that it would hack some decision-making center in your brain for you being able to direct yourself. That's like
I thought it was just like an appetite suppressant. But maybe that's how it's doing it. How
Ozempic?
it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something like that's how it's doing it.
Got
But who knows? Maybe it's like some fucking I don't know. Maybe the elite people.
all I know is if you're trying to take a shortcut like that and you're trying to manipulate the point, like your starting point is still fucked. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna manifest some shit in some other way.
Think about like Ritalin and Vyvanse
Right.
and all those other
Right,
like
right. Oh, it helps you focus, but look at all the fucking problems it creates. It's like
Yeah.
Right, it
not
like
good.
literally fucking rewires your brain to
Oh,
Like-
dude.
fucked
W-
for
Was it you
longer.
that sent me this, or was I just scrolling on Twitter and I saw an old clip of Tom Cruise with Matt Lauer, and he's like, "The ADHD medication, the Ritalin, like your body does not have a Ritalin deficiency. What is this? Like, why are we
Yeah.
giving kids this? Why are we drugging them? You
Wow.
know, like." And he's like, "It's a street drug. It's a street drug." Like he's like really going in.
I looked into all the psychiatry stuff back in like 2010. So when I started looking at all that.
Yeah.
Dude, why did that interviewer on that look more feminine?
Wait, you never
than
showed
both of
anything
those
about
women?
it though. You can't just show a screenshot of the fucking
Did it not look weird?
That did
It
not
looked
look like
weird.
Ariana Grande.
Yeah, I thought that was enough.
there's
I
these
was
parts
weirded out.
they'll be like, I don't even know what they're talking about. I don't understand what they're talking
Yeah.
about. And then she'll be like, oh really? Oh, that's what I wanted. And you're like, what are they fucking talking? And it was like, yeah. And apparently they're
Wiccan
just
thing?
they're just bastardizing Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
I'll
I can't believe
find
they
it.
made this poor black woman do green face. She's gonna regret that in 1,000 years when the Martians are like in control.
Hang on. I think I have to share.
I haven't seen this one, I don't think. I don't know.
this one. No, I think yeah.
Oz is a queer place.
Where,
Oh
well,
yeah. Okay, I did watch it. Yeah, play this one.
I have to
Oh, you got
optimize it.
Got it. Oz is a very queer place.
Yes.
Well,
Of
Oz
course.
is a very queer place and
I
has
think
always
so.
been.
Yeah,
Even from the L. Frank
Very
Baum
much.
books, it's always been queer,
yeah. I think so for sure.
gay.
Hey,
Yes.
we'll take it.
Very nice. Yeah.
That was it.
I've read all the books. It ain't queer.
Well,
It's not gay.
oh,
It's not gay. Not gay. It's fantasy.
Isn't that queer? Yeah.
Maybe that's saying something.
Yeah. You know what? It's like they took one definition of queer and they're just like, and it applies to everything.
It's like when we're saying you're a queer, it doesn't mean the same thing as, oh, that's queer. Yes, I'm sure Frank Oz was like, yes. Frank Oz, whatever. Oz, Frank L. Baum was like, Oz is a very queer land. Yes, it is queer, but it's not queer. Like, is that what they mean?
They mean
They're
queer.
They want you to look at them and be like, wow, you're very queer. Like,
Oh,
like
yes.
puzzling? Is that what you mean? Like puzzling?
yes, that's what I wanted.
The one when she like grabs her finger. I'm like, are they trying to be weird or are they just weird?
I don't understand why they're holding hands like this.
I think they're jacked up on Ozempic, dude.
And yeah,
This is what it does to you.
Dude, they
Don't
are
really
like
fit.
frail as fuck.
Yeah, they don't look well. They don't
They
look
don't
well.
look healthy at all.
Did you see that thing where people were buying the Wicked Barbie dolls and like on the back it was linking to a literal porn website?
No, I did not hear about that.
No.
That shit sounds like it's crazy.
It was like
and then I'm also
wicked.com
like,
or
I'm
whatever,
not
but it was
shocked.
like linking to some porn site.
I'm not gonna type that in.
Well, I think they fixed it or whatever, but yeah. It was like the QR code linked to a porn site.
Hi, so I feel like a lot of voters are asking, like, why are we letting so many
I couldn't understand him for a second.
Okay.
immigrants in when we don't have space to house them?
So that's your question. Can I just ask you, weren't you one of those 19,000 people who were here on a student
You're one of
visa
them
at the moment?
brownies, eh?
So people might say, why
Yeah,
are
I
you
feel
asking
like
this
it's quite
question as an
ironic.
immigrant
I feel
yourself?
it's quite
at the moment?
ironic, and knowing like what the housing crisis that probably wouldn't have come, knowing that like if I researched it in advance.
So you wouldn't have come here if you'd known the housing
Correct.
crisis was
Yeah.
as bad as it is?
Yeah.
And you don't think that we should be encouraging more immigrants to come?
I feel like until like the housing crisis gets more in control, maybe not. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll ask your question to our panel. And I'll go to you
So-
first, Helen McEntee.
So you didn't come for the French fried potatoes.
No.
You didn't come for the ginger, lass.
No. I would not have come if I would have known.
I think this calls for another potato famine, don't you say?
Yeah. And then this woman at the end, she's like, and yeah, I agree, there is a housing crisis, but that could be solved by more immigrants who would build the houses. Like, well, that seems a little circular.
So is every
logic.
immigrant going to build a house?
It's a
Because if every immigrant doesn't build a house,
yeah.
how many immigrants does it take to build a house?
You know what? This is how.
Why can't Irish people build houses? Hey,
This is how the
didn't
whole.
they come over here and build all our shit?
Yeah, right. Like they were looked at here when they first got here to the U.S. as like dirty immigrants. Now they're just white people. Just a different form of
This
white.
is so confusing, isn't it? Now you've got Indians in Ireland saying they shouldn't allow immigrants because there's not enough houses.
You know why? Because Indians can do math. That's why. He's like, no, this math is not.
You know
working
where
out."
else there could be houses? In India.
Oh.
Why can't these really smart, talented, bright people stay in India and build in India? Why?
That's true.
Like no one can explain that. It's all deliberate. Like this guy didn't sit and like plan out like all of reality and be like, I know why I'm going to Ireland. He was just impulse to do it through the way the whole system functions. Who is behind all this?
Yeah. Man, that reminds me.
Speaking of Occupied,
No, not doing that
Oh,
one.
did you watch it? I didn't
I
watch
did.
it yet.
I've watched parts of it while I was driving.
I watched it, and I watched it with Christine, and she was like, I did not know some of these things. I'm looking for a specific.
I got to keep watching it. Yeah, I was just, dude, I had to replace my water heater.
Oh, I heard about that.
We have two water heaters, one for the bathroom area.
Oh, okay.
It's like the front and back of the house. There's two water systems. So I'm still working on it because the pipes are super old and I got everything finally hooked up. But then like the pipe where the hot water goes back into the, from the heater,
Uh-huh.
the last thing I turned everything on and it started spurting out the connector on that because I don't want to replace anything because the pipe. Okay. So I went to the hardware place and got copper pipe because I was just like, oh, dude, I'll fucking cut this and weld new copper pipe. It's not that hard. But I got home and my pipe I bought was smaller than the pipe in the wall. It's like, huh. So I went back and got the bigger size. Came back, it's too big. I'm like, but there's only 2 sizes.
Yeah.
So I called this
Was it a
contractor
queer
guy.
situation?
It was very queer. Yes, I liked it. I need some gays to come over. I need some Indians to come over. Gays and Indians.
Gay Indians.
The Indians to build the house. Obviously.
Anyway, so I'm having someone come over to look at it who can kind of maybe give me some ideas of what to do because I don't want to just cut the pipe if I can't put any pipe back.
Right. Maybe there's like a sizer thingy majig, you know?
His suspicion, based on when I talk to him on the phone, is that maybe they used like air conditioner copper pipe, which is like at a 5/8 size, kind of like in between, or 3/8 or something. I don't know. So it could just be that the normal standard plumbing pipes are not what was used. He said also it could have expanded from being frozen or something. So I don't know, man.
Oh,
I'll figure it out. But so I have no hot water in the back right now.
makes sense.
Nice. Cameron's into biohacking now.
But-
Yeah,
cold,
he's doing the cold plunge thing.
cold showers.
Yeah.
I don't take showers that much, so it's not really a problem for me. But it was cool to be like, okay, there's a problem. Like Katie came at like 10:30 at night and she was like, hey, I think there's a problem. And we looked at the hot water heater and like all this rusty water is like coming out the bottom of it. And it's like at the end of its life because it was like a 6-year water heater. I mean, it came with the house when we bought it, you know?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, is this something I can do? So I start looking it up. And within like 30 minutes, we're like, okay, we could probably just replace this ourselves. You know, and it would be simple if the piping was all modernized, but since it's such old piping, that's the only reason why it's causing more of a delay.
That's funny.
But it's cool to be able to just take it out. The wiring, I knew how to undo the electrical wiring, all that, you know, because of all the skills I built. It was pretty
You
satisfying.
didn't shock yourself?
No,
Wow.
but I was shocked at how unstressed I was about it.
Wow. I like that. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. This is the UK Prime Minister. When did he become UK Prime Minister?
Dude, they fucking trade out prime ministers like it's nothing. They're freaking immigrants from India into Ireland or something.
Oh yeah,
I don't understand their system. It's very weird.
Since Boris, the Indian.
There was an Indian?
There was, yeah.
You're not just
Indian
making
prime
a joke?
minister?
Yes.
Yes, you are. Was a Shiva.
No.
Yeah, isn't it weird though how like we don't even know when there's a new one?
I had
And
no
then like
idea.
suddenly they're just like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
Rishi.
There's a woman?
There was another one since. I thought it was a board. Yeah, Rishi
Sunak. Oh yeah, Sunak. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yo, Han Elizabeth Truss got out there real quick.
Oh yeah, I remember her. That was interesting.
Who was
Wow,
who's before Theresa May? Then who else?
From 22 to 22.
Lord
see.
Cameron.
Oh, I remember
Damn.
this guy. I remember Gordon Brown.
Cameron
I
in a
remember
different
hearing about
life.
him.
That would have been you. He looks the tiny.
Wasn't Cameron the one that they had put fucking the pig on the first episode of Black Mirror?
David Cameron.
I think it was supposed to be David
Something
Cameron.
like that. Yeah. Okay. So literally the only prime ministers that I know are this guy.
No,
Gordon-
you would know Tony Blair.
How do you not know any of these?
No,
Go
one,
back,
2,
20th
3.
century.
That's all I know.
How are there any you don't
Go
know?
back.
You don't know Theresa
Go
May?
back, Drake.
Nope.
What?
Go back.
I
You'll
guess
know.
I've
Yeah,
just been
Tony
paying
Blair
attention to
and then
politics.
Thatcher.
Tony Blair.
I've heard of Tony Blair. I've heard of Margaret Thatcher. Nope, this isn't Margaret Thatcher.
Tony
Is it
Blair was
Margaret?
the one who was like fucking an animal or something.
Is this
It was,
Margaret?
like, something like that. Yeah, that's Margaret. Look at that.
Look at this
fucking
James
hair.
Callahan,
Damn.
fucking nobody, not even the right honorable nothing.
Wow.
Loser.
Only 3 years. Dude, Tony Blair was in for 10 years. Damn.
Keep going.
Oh,
I'm trying to
I've
see
heard
the
of this guy.
original. Ooh.
Neville Chamberlain.
Oh, I've also heard of him.
No one
I've
even
heard
knows
of,
about Hadley.
No,
I heard Churchill was the bad guy.
no, I don't know.
Neville
any of these
Chamberlain.
people.
He just wanted to appease Hitler, you know.
Apparently. Stanley Baldwin. No, I've
Dude,
never
look
even
at some
heard
of
of these
these
people.
guys. Damn.
Oh, James Balfour.
Balfour. Ooh.
Oh, what is he the one? Do him. Click on him.
It's definitely he's the Balfour.
I thought it was a
version.
different. I thought
I
it was
thought
a
it was a
different.
different one.
No,
Because it was
it's gotta be,
1914,
dude.
right?
Dude, let's keep going back
But
because
I wonder if it's
wasn't
like the
Benjamin
same-
Disraeli, that guy. He was there too, I thought.
Look,
Yeah,
Balfour
Balfour
Declaration.
It's him!
It is him. It is him.
what? I thought it was just some random fucking dude.
Oh,
No.
shit.
Keep going back. We're learning. We're like piecing it together, man. We're gonna make
Okay,
our own
alright.
version of the
Oh,
Q-map.
Benjamin Disraeli. I've heard of him.
What?
Yeah. Okay, he must have been earlier. Go back to that other page.
Okay, hang on. What the hell?
Yeah, look at him.
Salisbury.
Dude, look at
Like,
Disraeli. Look at his
Salisbury
eyes.
sauce?
Why does his eyes look so fucked up?
What is happening?
Look on the right.
Yeah, no, I see him. He looks
He looks pretty cool, actually.
he looks
Yeah, he's just
kind
got
of
fucked
like
up. Maybe he like got punched in the face.
he looks like he's like on some downers or something.
Dude, this is going way back. Okay. When was the first one? Because this must have been the conversion from. Well, dude, I don't even know how the fucking government works.
Duke of Wellington, the first Duke of Wellington. Wow.
Hold on.
Charles Gray. the
So you're
second-
telling me, go back up,
Wait, this guy invented tea?
scroll all the way up.
The second one. It was probably the other.
Oh yeah, Earl Grey. No shit, dude. Literally invented tea.
Yeah.
go all the way
so
up?
in this
So you're
whole
telling me
lineage-
it wasn't until this past year that we got a brown one?
Oh,
Wow, England.
wow. You are correct. This is the last,
Theresa May was or no, I guess Margaret Thatcher was the first woman one.
yeah, first woman.
Mm.
This one.
And then they were like, yeah, let's take a break from that for a while.
That's
Keep
not
going back.
yeah.
I wonder how far back this goes.
Let's find out.
Dude, Newcastle.
Dude, we got
this
some
is like
Mozart looking motherfuckers over here.
Oh, wait, when is like America getting founded? Who's in 1776? Who was in?
1776.
Keep going up. Go up a little bit.
Oh, here we go. Boom. Lord Frederick North.
Look at that. They're always blaming the king, but they had a prime minister. So
Could have been this guy.
what was
Dude,
the
he
king
looked
doing?
Fat.
What was he
That
doing?
dude. There was no Ozempic at this time.
Men may be popular
Mar-
without
Marie
being
Antoinette-
ambitious.
Marie Antoinette was like, let them eat cake. And he was like, too late, fuckers, I got it all.
And
Yeah, and then he went on Ozempic, yeah.
then he went on Ozempic.
The Tea Act. Yo, all right. Thank you for helping us.
I see.
Just
Okay.
about tea. Those memes are so fun. Dude. Hang on, there's a funny meme I gotta send you.
So he did the Tea Act.
He
Interesting.
Apparently.
he did
You suck.
it. Wow, so it wasn't even the King George's fault. It was actually this whole prime minister.
Yeah.
Now look what your prime minister
It was
is
this
doing
guy
right
trying to
now.
eat all the tea
are
cakes.
owed is an explanation. Because a failure on this scale isn't just bad luck, it isn't a global trend or taking your eye off the ball. No, this is a different order of failure. This happened by design, not accident. Policies were reformed deliberately to liberalise immigration. Brexit was used for that purpose, to turn Britain into a one-nation experiment in open borders. Global Britain. Remember that slogan? That is what they meant. A policy with no support, and which they
What's it
then
to do with Brexit?
pretended wasn't happening.
It sounds like he's blaming the party that did Brexit, because I'm assuming he's not part of the same party. If I
No, I think he's Labor. Did it? What did it say? Oh, we already.
Jesus, Keir Starmer. Conservatives sent this country
Oh, he's a
backwards.
conservative. Or no.
No, he's
Is
Labour
he?
Party.
He is Labor. Yeah.
Labour
Okay.
Party.
That's a.
So is Labour Party the one that did Brexit?
But I mean, no, it was it. Well, Brexit wasn't done by the Conservative Party, but then they were the ones who had to deal with it. You know what I mean? It wasn't really the Conservative Party that was pushing Brexit. It
I don't
was
understand.
it was Nigel Farage.
I don't know. Nigel.
But I don't
Farage.
understand how Brexit was about open borders. Like, what? That's weird. They're trying to blame it on Brexit because Brexit was them trying to not be under control of the European Union.
Uh-huh.
And they're trying to say that that was what created the immigration problem. Like,
Yeah. I don't know.
Drake, do you have those pictures I sent you?
I don't know. This is all very
Send me
weird.
pictures.
It's all very
They're
weird.
really funny.
You sent me
Basically,
pictures.
I think
Oh.
I
Yeah,
think what's
just,
happening is the Labor Party's trying to get the working class back on their side.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, maybe it's flipping because, like in America,
Britain is
it's
done,
like,
dude.
it's dude in America, it's like really weird. Did anyone watch that Mark Andreessen on Joe Rogan? Yeah.
This is
That's so funny.
when Mitchell goes searching for memes. It's always a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah.
Here's the other one.
Yeah, seriously. What the hell?
Yeah.
These are good. These are good. Mitch.
Memes just get through to that, limbic part of the brain.
I'm like trying to
Um,
educate everybody in our text chat, and Mitch is like, check out this meme.
Yeah.
Dude, I got a hell of memes. There's a lot of memes I don't post. I probably should. No, I wasn't gonna say that Mark Andreessen on Joe Rogan. Did you guys see any of
Have
it?
not. No,
It was
I've just.
it was really, really. He's the
You
guy
watched the whole thing?
you can't listen to it at 2x speed because he's already on 2x speed.
Oh,
So I did like a 1.5. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. It was really fucking good.
he
It was
does too
cool to
much
see.
speed.
It was really cool to see from a Silicon Valley. I don't know if he's actually a billionaire, but he runs apparently like one of the most successful, venture capital firms, Andreessen Horowitz. And I've always kind of liked hearing his take on things. He's really well read and just an interesting dude. But he explains the shift from 2016, all of them voted for Hillary. And then he shares the story of after Trump won, everyone's like depressed as fuck in Silicon Valley. And then he explains his journey to how he became able to see Trump because he like saw Hillary right after giving her first ever speech after she lost. And he said he was taking notes and she made like 12 statements blaming other people, but not herself. He's like, oh, and then he had another situation too where he's talking to a waiter at a restaurant and it forced him because his whole job is to see patterns in the world. That's why he's a venture capitalist.
Yeah.
So he's like, wow, I saw this so wrong that I thought Hillary was going to win. I need to like fundamentally shift my worldview, which I think is cool. But then he goes into the whole debanking thing, which was fucking gnarly. If you see, I think Elon posted a
I think I have a clip of that.
Yeah,
I just want to comment real quick. Like, okay, so he's like, dude, I fucking knew Trump was going to win.
right.
So
He's in the
what is
echo
that?
chamber.
But my starting point is totally different. But that's what woke him up, meaning he was okay with what Hillary was presenting. He was okay with the system staying the same. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like even these guys waking up now, what are they waking? And I'm not saying they're not going to push some cool points, but they're just capitalists. They're just trying to make money. They don't that's all he's really thinking about.
It's a good point. It's a good
And
point.
it's like,
because-
well, if everybody doesn't have, is taxed to death, then we won't have any more consumers for our fucking products for me to
There's
invest.
this one, but there's another one too that was, I think, even more hardcore, where it was like the Biden administration came to him explaining how they were going to come into AI.
Oh,
I,
no, I
I'll
didn't see
see if I
that.
can find it. I mean, this one.
Yeah,
This
I'll
one's
play
interesting.
this
15
one.
years ago with this thing called Operation Choke Point, where they decided to, as marijuana started to become legal, as prostitution started to become legal, and then guns, which there's always a fight about. Under the Obama administration, they started to debank legal marijuana businesses, escort businesses, and then gun shops, just like your gun manufacturers, and just like you're done, you're out of the banking system. And so if you're running a medical marijuana dispensary in 2012, like you, guess what? You're doing your business all in cash because you literally can't get a bank account. You can't get a
remember
Visa
that,
terminal.
though.
You can't process transactions. You can't do payroll. You can't do direct deposit. You can't get insurance. Like none of that stuff is, you've been sanctioned, right? None of that stuff is available. And then this administration extended that concept to apply it to tech founders, crypto founders, and then just generally political opponents. And so, yeah, so that's been like super pernicious.
I
And-
wasn't aware of that.
Oh, 100%. And this is called, so it was Operation Choke Point 1.0 was 15 years ago against the pot and the guns. Choke Point 2.0 is primarily against their political enemies and then to their disfavored tech startups.
That's pretty messed up that they're doing that to like the gun shop owners because that's a right that's like covered in our Constitution. Or
I don't
at
think it
least
was
in
just gun shop owners. I think it was also like manufacturers.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty fucked up. Like that
Smith
should
and Wesson
be
too
illegal.
was they made a statement because on Facebook they kept getting demonetized because their stuff is literally about guns, and so
Right.
they're like going hard on X now to like as their main platform.
Yeah.
I just want to add this point too, real quick though. Like in the defense of someone like this, like imagine like you want to make money,
Uh-huh.
which in itself is not a bad thing, but it's like, well, the system is so fucked and there's so much negativity created by it. But okay, so what's your alternative? Just be poor? So some of these guys might be cool from the perspective that like they didn't see any other way previously. And now they're starting to be this sort of glimmer of like, hey, maybe the system isn't just something happening to us. Maybe it's something we can direct in a way. Now their starting point is still not clear because if think about it, if you've for your whole life been just programmed to make money in the system as it is, which creates war, poverty, all these things, you're not going to suddenly be able to change yourself and be like, oh, and now I just want to do what's best for everybody because you don't even have that within you yet. It's something like, it's not even just like, oh, now I realize I'm going to be best for all. And then suddenly you're just, everything you do is best for all. Like it's a fucking program, like a robot. Imagine a robot, you program a robot physically, right?
Yeah.
Does it really matter what the outside environment does at that point? Is the robot going to do something different than its programming? It's not. So that's what the human is. You actually have to go and reprogram the human. Yes. The thing about changing the system will give people the time and space to do that. But in itself, I was talking with Max about this because he was like, all we need to do is just get equal money. And I'm like, no, because if you just have that only, like, how do you even get there in the first place? You have to have enough people like a Mark Andreessen would have to reprogram the points within him. So that's their starting point is actually what's best for all, not just how do we keep the system and adjust it so we can keep making money.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to this. I finished History of Mankind. I don't know. I like made it almost near the end, and then finally last night I was listening to it, and there's like a series of Bernard talking within the playlist, and he's explaining like why we are here or something like that, some title like that. But he's explaining how for eons of time we've had this point within us of spitefulness, and spitefulness meaning like we could all collectively choose to do what's best. But if you're one person who doesn't choose it, you actually like hold the power in that situation.
Right.
And so he's saying that it's literally within you. So in your process of going to equality and oneness, every single step along the way, there will be that option of spitefulness you could choose. That is what is hardwired into the robot. So, I mean, it's cool because now we have our kids and we can, help
That's
them.
funny.
But even at a DNA level, they're still walking through that.
I was just listening to the reptilians, like Anu basically saying the same exact thing of how like he was having conversations with different beings and they're like, no, I don't want to. He's like, but you could help, like we could solve this for everybody. Look how much better the world would be, all that stuff. And that being just being like, yeah, but no, I'm gonna hold on to this because I have the power to choose. And Anu being like, you're abusing your power to choose, though. Like that's an abuse of that power.
Yeah.
And feeling like really powerless in that situation because like, I mean, technically,
Gotta
yeah,
get
you
good
do
at
have the
sales.
power. What's that?
Because you can't force it.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is the position we're in.
Yeah.
Literally.
But
and so what does that mean is we have to become really fucking persuasive and
know-
not in a manipulative way where again, in terms of the negative sense where you're like tricking a person, because that's what all the system does. Like if they want to sell you shit, they just trick you. But it's like that won't work in this because the person actually has to stop the spitefulness. If you're just being tricked into doing something, you haven't changed that point, it's not going to fundamentally change anything once the person continues with their spitefulness.
Okay, so when we make our fictional story for people to understand this, right? Because here's what's really helping me even more see this is the point that like it's sort of like when you Mitch, you ever watch Rick and Morty?
Not really.
No? Okay. But there's this concept of like basically they're one pair of Rick and Morty in the universe of like infinite, and so it's like Rick C17 or something like, that's what he goes by. And so, but then there's all these other, so there'll be episodes where there's all these other Ricks. Oh, I'm Rick C739 or, something like that. And like, oh, Rick C17, that asshole, like, that sort of thing. But just the point that I'm making is seeing everyone here as like, this is another part of you, and like actually understanding that to the point where it's not like, oh, I'm fighting this person or that person or whatever. It's us versus them or anything like that. It's like, how do I get through to me over here?
Right.
and me over there, and okay, and just the amount of power, the amount of self power that it requires, like how what I'm trying to get across is, you ever watch like, okay, you know what makes those animes so popular? You know, of like some kid who becomes powerful or whatever. It's like what makes them so popular is this point of it's a nobody who then develops some power. They become powerful, they become strong, and like they have to prove just how strong they are. And I think people resonate with this point of like feeling powerless and then needing to prove that like being able to prove, being able to show like, okay, I can make something of myself. Look at what I can do. Like and resonating with that sort of character or whatever. And um I see that as like people really want that, but they don't know how to go about doing that. How do I go about showing that I have power or that I am actually really powerful within myself and I'm not a nobody, but then not abuse that. And it's like this is the way that you can show like you're the most powerful via like actually changing yourself.
Why do you
becoming
feel like
someone-
you're a nobody in the first place?
Right. Yeah.
Because that's the part we have to look at is like if we're equal, why is there a nobody?
Yeah.
It's like, so even that point of I have to prove something
Yeah.
is still coming from a self-judgment. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you're a nothing. You're nobody. You're nothing.
Yeah.
Why is that a problem? Because aren't you still able to speak?
Well,
So are you nothing? Like you're nothing, and yet you don't have to be. And it's like proving. It's like even just the point of, think about this. Even just the point of I am nobody in this system.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm never going to be Mark Andreessen. I'm never going to be Elon Musk. I'm never going to be, Lil Yachty, whatever the fuck. Like anybody you look up to, right?
I didn't know you looked up to Lil Yachty.
I want a big Yachty. But
Herman looks down to him because he's little.
I look down from him upon my big yacht. But I can still defend the system.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like I can't be them, but I can defend. So I still have a way of holding power over reality just by defending the system.
See, okay, no, that's a really good point. That's a really good point because it's like that. What they're going
Like that
into,
faggot cipher in the Matrix.
right? Yeah, yeah. But but that's what they're going into is like this point of like, well, how can I prove my power? And that's it, as opposed to seeing like, hey, you actually want to show you're powerful, like change, like that's that.
You want to show you're powerful, be of service to reality.
Yeah.
You know, this whole idea of like, oh, if we have communism, which obviously wouldn't work anyways, but if we had communism, like you're just trying to force the people who are productive and creative to like slaves to be slaves of everybody else, right? That's like the argument against welfare and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why wouldn't you, if you are really creative, choose to just serve everybody?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you should be forced to, because that's pointless. But why wouldn't you? Like, if you're Mark Andreessen or Elon Musk, why not just give to humanity?
Mhm.
And the problem is we have a system where even if that was their starting point, they couldn't really. They have to do it in a way that's taking, and it's based on debt, right? So it's like, dude, it's so fucked. It's just so fucked.
Jared, go to that one. It explains how close we came to.
Alarming. We had meetings this spring that were the most alarming meetings I've ever been in, where they were taking us through their plans, and it was
like what kind of? Can you talk about it?
Basically, just full government control, like this sort of thing. There will be a small number of large companies that will be completely regulated and controlled by the government. They told us. They just said, don't even start startups. Like, don't even bother. Like, there's just no way. There's no way that they can succeed. There's no way that we're going to permit that to happen.
Wow.
Yeah, they said this is already over. It's going to be 2 or 3 companies, and we're gonna control them, and that's that. Like, this is already finished.
Oh my God! No, when you leave a meeting like that, what do you do?
That's why you didn't hear Biden and Kamala and these people talking about AI. Because you're like, why aren't they talking about the most important thing? It's like, because they don't need to make it a big deal. They just gonna fucking control it and regulate it and use it to control everybody. That's what we've been saying.
Yeah.
Now, I don't trust that is not going to happen anyways,
Right.
because the nature of the system hasn't changed. And all these fucking, like, if you look at the situation in Israel and you're okay with what's going on, you're fucking retard. But those are the people who support all of that, are in control of the whole Trump administration, everything. And I'm not saying it boils down to only that, but it just shows you like they're okay with that. So what else are they okay with?
Yeah, share your point about like the crypto thing, because I like with that context, like it's really obvious. Like,
Well, because he was talking about the debanking thing, and
yeah,
I'm like, oh, that's why people are going to crypto. And now it makes a lot of sense, because I watched something else. I'm trying to think of what it was. Maybe it was that Catherine Austin Fitts, but maybe it was something else where they mentioned there was a point with crypto. Maybe I sent you guys this. There was a point with Bitcoin where they could have gone down a path to make it easy to use for transactions. But some kind of like coup was done in that world, however it works, where they made it go down the path where it's only good for pump and dump. It's not good for transactional type stuff. Like they deliberately pushed it that way. And I'm like, oh, that's why, because they didn't want people to have an out away from the banking system that's totally under control by the AI and so forth. They want it to be a totally controlled system. And so they can't have this. And I'm not a Bitcoin person. I'm not saying it's not cool at some level, but I don't deal with it because it's like.
It's funny because John McAfee was saying that. John McAfee he was basically saying like, Bitcoin is useless. Like it's.
Well, have you heard of this thing called the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve?
No.
So apparently, under Trump, the U.S. government is going to start buying Bitcoin as part of its strategy. I don't understand exactly why, but it's.
I don't feel like a competent expert in all of the Bitcoin stuff. I think I understand the basics of what it is at a certain level, but. I just, when you put sort of things together, I notice it's like, it looks like it's been steered in a way where, yes, maybe you can use it to store value. It's like gold. You going to go use your gold somewhere?
No.
Like you're not. Like you might have a bunch of gold and it may be worth a lot of money, but what are you going to fucking do with it?
Right.
And so the transaction fees are really high, Like, so there's all these points. And what they wanted to do, I think, was utilize that kind of technology, but then make it controlled by the government. And part of the debanking point was, well, if they can go to crypto and Bitcoin and so forth, then they can get outside of the system. Yeah. So they had to push it in a way where the Bitcoin isn't really useful in that sense. It's difficult. Whereas I'm sure a lot of the crypto proponents want it to be useful as a currency and so forth, right? But I guess the thing is, what I don't trust is that Mark Andreessen or any of these guys actually have everyone's best interest at heart, and that they don't want to just. I mean, I don't know him in particular. It's just maybe he's got a good starting point to a certain degree, but he's just a fish in the pond. But do you think suddenly those forces, like, okay, so you're telling me Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, that was their plan?
Right. Yeah.
Who was in that fucking meeting with Mark Andreessen? Was it Joe Biden doing all the talking? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like it was somebody else. He's just a puppet. So who's the one making the decision behind them? You think they just went away?
No.
They didn't just fucking go away. So that's why I'm like saying I don't trust it. It's not about I need to trust it or not. It's just because it's like, okay, cool. They stopped them. These guys are on the scene. Elon Musk, they understand Bitcoin. They don't going to let it get regulated. I'm like, they're just going to do it in some other way. And it's still, again, it's like Ozempic. You think, oh, look, I have this option now. I can lose the weight. It's like, you don't think there's going to be a consequence later because did it involve all of us changing? Did it involve all of us seeing all life equally and looking at how to implement systems based on that? No, it was a savior solution. Even if it's Elon Musk and Trump, it's still a savior solution. It's like Ozempic. It's a savior. It's going to save you from the problem, but it's not you changing because you're the one manifesting the fucking problem. You know, even the point of, well, I'm not manifesting my obesity. But you, as your spitefulness, is manifesting a system based on self-interest and greed, which is making the water supply and the food supply and everything fucked, which is what's making you obese. Yeah, so you're not changing the original starting point that created that system in the first place.
There's this thing like that Callie Means had put out that was like, hey, now they're going to start pushing this on 6-year-olds, etc. And then there was that doctor who was basically like, oh, you're misrepresenting the data and misrepresenting what's being said here and blah blah blah. And I started reading what this doctor was saying, and it was basically like you're totally discounting the fact that there's like some sort of unconscious thing that's happening within the brain that we don't know how to solve, that is like superseding the diet and exercise and all of that. And I was looking at it and like, but he's acting like it just stops there. Like it's just there's just some unconscious thing that we can't we don't know where it's coming from. And that's
Well, that's the whole Freudian psychology psyop that's been done on everybody. There's just unconscious things that you can't do anything about.
It's like, okay, but where's that unconscious thing coming from? Like, we know that there are studies that show that, like, if you were abused as a child, that your rate of obesity is like, it goes up like 20-fold. You know? It's like the likelihood of you being obese is 20 times that of somebody who's not been abused that way, right? It's like, okay, so why aren't we looking at that? Oh, no, that's just some unconscious thing. You know, it's like, we don't know how to solve that. It's almost like the same argument that's used for like I know this is going to get us downranked and all that shit, but like the same argument that's used for vaccines and autism. It's like, no, vaccines don't cause autism. They do not.
Yeah, it's like an axiom.
And it's like, okay, but like, you don't think it contributes at all? Like, you don't think there's anything at all to do with, like, why is it that these people go get their child vaccinated and then all of a sudden their child regresses? You don't think it has, like, it's not a contributing factor? Like, come on.
Dude, people cannot connect fucking dots, man. Like,
yeah,
it's because you can just look at the fact of you have someone and you're giving them this injection. You're not doing any looking at the person that day. Like, are you sick today? What did you eat? What did you not like? Anything about it? You're just like, no, it's time. It's your scheduled injection. Here we go. And like, okay, real quick, even the idea of injecting yourself with a needle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you sterilize it. Why do they sterilize it?
Because
it's not a good idea.
Right. You can introduce other
like
things.
I was looking at because I'm about to I want to do some deer hunting this season.
Oh, is that why you're out there making your property all nice for the deer?
Well, yeah, no. We actually did put out some corn and stuff, but anyways, I'm looking at like how long do you hang deer for? Should you hang deer like like you do beef and so forth, right? And the guy was like, if you have to be very careful about doing it, and you're going to lose a lot. Because he said if you're shooting it with a bullet or an arrow, you're introducing something from the outside into the meat. So he's like, if you do it for a day or something, maybe there's only a little bit you have to trim away, but the longer you let it wait, you're contaminating the meat from the outside. So it's just another point. It's like, that's obvious. But now, but over here, no. It's okay. We're just injecting some random shit from outside into your body and letting it go into not even just the point of the needle, what's on the needle, like the shit in the syringe.
Yeah.
You're putting that into your body from the outside, and it's not already. It's something that we made up. Like at least a fucking vegetable, God made it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the same thing that made your body, made this. But you've got humans that are going based on self-interest, are creating a fucking thing and then injecting that in your body. And at the board meeting, they're not like, we're so happy that we're doing such a good, like, they're like, what are the numbers? What's the profits? Okay, no. Okay, do this. Oh, cut that out. Put that in there. Like, okay. Like when they get the report that people are getting sick because of this food, do you think they're like, oh no?
No.
Or are they like, sweet, another opportunity. I can make money off of that.
Right. I was just talking with a daycare owner this past weekend, and they were telling me like the amount of kids that come into their daycare that are like, got so many issues, like autistic or have like stomach issues, or like there's something wrong. Like they were telling us that they have 3-year-olds who already have like hair on their genitals, like at 3 years old. Like, and not only that, but their armpits stink, and like and they're putting deodorant on, and at 3 years old.
What the fuck, dude?
Right. Like what? And this daycare owner was telling us that like they're talking to the parents and going like, what's going on? in your home? Like, what
Like
are
the
your kids
parent fucking
eating?
knows.
The
But yeah,
parents, but yeah,
they're just
exactly.
trying to get
But that's the
information.
point. Like the parents are just like, well, I don't know. Maybe the kids got diarrhea because we ate icing yesterday. Like icing, like oh well, but like your kid has diarrhea every day. Well, maybe because we had some milk. Like your kid's lactose intolerant. Why are you giving them milk? Like what the fuck? Like all this stuff. It's like every single day. And she's like, okay, you need to go, like, can you go to the doctor and like get this checked out? Like get a prescription for something, like maybe get a referral to go see a specialist, like something, do some steps. Like it seems like you just
The parents are just not even like,
yeah, it's like they don't care. It's like they're just putting their kid and she was making this point of like it's like they go to work, they come home, they get their kid or whatever, and it's like bath time, give the kid an iPad and then go to sleep. It's like they're not there with their bath time, iPad, sleep.
Oh, iPad. They said nightpad. I was wondering. Okay.
Nightpad. Yeah. Well,
I was trying to figure out what that was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
So they come home from daycare.
Yeah.
They take
They
a bath.
put their kid up. They give him food. They give him a bath. They give him their iPad, and they just go to bed.
Right. And it's like, okay, what's being said essentially is the kid's spending more time with the daycare worker, and the daycare has more concern over their health and well-being than the parents do.
My kid's screen time on a daily basis is like.
Did you say screen time?
Screen time.
How much?
Screen time 24/7. Screen time. I mean, they don't have iPads. They don't have phones. If they're on the computer, it's because we're with them or like we specifically agreed to something or whatever. But like generally speaking, like they're not on any kind of screen other than doing their techno tutor. And we've gone through phases where they've had more access to computer, less, and so forth, but they certainly are not going to just be on an iPad on apps and shit. I mean, just because it's like we actually care about our kids, and not just from a feeling of love. Like we actually want them to have the best possible setup to go into this world. And like I was talking with Max, we went to go to a plumbing supply store the other day. So me and Max went together, and I was just telling him, like, I was like, Max, you need to make it your life purpose. As you get older, as you develop, like you need to make it part of your purpose that you're here to change the system and create an equal money system. Because I'm sitting there watching this occupied thing and all this, and I'm just like, it's so fucked, all of this, it's so fucked. Because
what are these? When you bring that up to him nowadays, does he?
He just knows.
Yeah,
he's always talking to me about it. Mm-hmm. He'll like kind of argue with me of like, okay, I think we just need to get equal money system. That's why I was like, well, no, also have to support people to change inside. And maybe he can't relate to that as much because he didn't have a lot of that same programming. You know what I mean? Like trying to help them understand, like, it's like, why are we always talking about people as if they don't already know this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard to relate to that when you're just growing up with it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean people are dysfunctional?
Right. Man, yeah, that's got to be. But he'll be able to see it as he gets older, like, and interacts with more people, right? But like, yeah, it's got to be like, man, that's so interesting. Because we talked about this last week of like how I wish I could have had access to the tools, to this process, all of it when I was a kid. Like our kids have now. That would have been amazing because I'd be able to see so much more, like all the opportunities that I would have been able to see and done something about, versus like now I'm like, oh, there's so much that I have to correct within my life because like nobody else directed that, in my environment as I was growing up, and now I'm the one who's like, that doesn't make sense. Let me correct that, and then the adults from my youth are like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, that's interesting. What? Oh, how'd you come up with that? Like, yeah, why didn't you see this? What the fuck? But again, that's why it's like, you can really see that point, having gone through this system, going through this process, correcting things for yourself. You can really see like, man, if somebody would have supported them, the adults in my life, my parents, when I was a kid, or before I was even born, if somebody would have supported them effectively, then my life would be completely different. you know, and it would have helped me. And so it's like, so why not support somebody else and actually make that effective change? Because maybe you don't perceive it through your own, you know, mind consciousness system per se, but that is you. It is a part of you. It is affecting you, like in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, I got some more tabs to go through.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just let you go through them.
Did you have something?
No, just scrolling back through our chat to see what we could talk about. But yeah.
Okay.
So we got
Ozempic is now going to be.
So even though it's all been explained, we're just going to fucking bankrupt our country if we do this. They're like, nah, we're going to do it anyways. Don't give a shit.
Yeah. Biden is really just like going out with a bang. He's like, yeah, you know what? Ukraine just bomb. Yeah.
Dude, did you see the thing with him holding that book about Palestine?
Oh, yeah.
Did I send y'all that? That was crazy, man. I was explaining to Max. I'm like, there's no way you're the president. You know, everything you do is being scrutinized. You don't walk out of a fucking bookstore holding a book where you can, where the people can see the title and not do that on purpose.
Right. It's like,
you know, I don't know what he's saying with it, but
what was the premise of the book though? Was it like,
it's like a pro-Palestine, like Israel doesn't have a right to be there kind of book.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And he's walking out of the bookstore with it. Like clearly that's saying something to somebody.
Mm-hmm. This is that.
Oh yeah, do that one. This
Okay.
yeah, well, anyways. What are you doing?
I hit the wrong button.
Oh.
If you don't move, there's going to be trouble.
This is for English people. Move over.
But madam, don't raise your voice at my wife. Who do you think you are, eh?
So you got the white
He
Brits.
wasn't raising his voice. No, definitely wasn't talking to you, not mate. So you better shut up and sit down, or I'll give you what for. What seems to be the problem here?
Yeah.
So you got the white Brits are the bad guy, you got the blacks and the Indians are the good guys and all this shit. And it's a movie about World War fucking II. And I was just thinking about how it's like, okay, the Jews got Holocausted in World War II.
Mhm.
Okay, we know this, it's undeniable. The math is undeniable. And yet, after all the white people got together and stopped it, okay, then it's like, not only did that happen and you saved us, we're going to then utilize this point to beat you down even more. You know what I'm saying? Like the fucking, like, how are you going to take the Holocaust, like the World War II history and then use that to DEI all the white people? It's just so fucking insane. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody was pulled over and they had their tire, they couldn't fix their tire. So you got out, you got the tire iron out, you fixed their tire and everything, and then they took the tire iron and beat you with it.
How dare you let my tire go flat?
Oh yeah, Candace Owens.
Man, her little toddler brain.
Damn, I didn't see her response to that question. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, which one? Have you considered homeschooling?
Oh, it's right there. We are likely going to homeschool. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So I didn't know that she wasn't homeschooling. But see,
well, remember we had that. Remember we were talking about that.
We were talking about it, right?
And we were like, "How is she?" But really, what's really going on is she's not. They're not in school because look, they're not even 3.
No, they're like, yeah.
So she just has her fucking kids in daycare.
Yeah,
a Christian fucking daycare. Candace Owens.
Come on, Candace.
Because I'm always like, where are her kids while she's doing her show?
Right. Like, yeah, it's Candace, do better. You can do better. Come on. You talk about how important it is with raising your kids and all that stuff. Like, actually do that in your life. The hell?
I'll give you a second to the presentation, Candace.
Here's the thing. She wants to blame all the shit on like
the Frankus,
like CIA, something or other.
The Frankus.
She hasn't even realized that Christianity and Catholicism is another cult that was created by like the real fucking CIA of like reality.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways,
yeah,
we'll teach Candace.
Oh, this one I liked. This one.
What is that?
Literally thought this was the same person. Literally, I was like, oh, they.
No. That's the mayor of what, like, or the governor of Ohio or some shit.
Yeah.
And that's his beautiful sister.
Illinois.
Oh,
Illinois.
Pritzker family? No
Yeah,
way.
that's
Yeah,
his
the
beautiful
Pritzker.
sister.
Did you know?
Mitch, it's a rabbit hole, dude.
Did you know, Mitch? Did you know
That's
that
his
these were
sister.
two different people? I
I
thought
can't tell. I can't
I
tell
thought
what's
this was
real
like
right now.
like maybe an AI generated image of this
Just
guy.
scroll through a little
okay,
bit.
I'm looking at their chin. The chin is a little different.
Scroll
But it
through a
could-
little bit. That's
it could
his
be-
brother who became his sister.
Oh,
And this is a super rich family that's pushing a lot of all this stuff. They call it
see,
trans. They're normal. They want to normalize what people call transgenderism.
See, I didn't know that's what it was. I didn't know that was his brother that
What
became
could
his
go
sister.
wrong with that?
I was just like, oh, like clearly this is this guy.
He
This
solidified
is
the
same
idea.
guy,
Look, okay, good.
but in AI woman.
No,
form.
it's literally just his transgender.
Okay,
Whatever.
now it makes more sense. So basically, these guys are pushing transgenderism, but the author of this article calls it synthetic sex identities because he says transgenderism there's no definition for transgenderism now. Like,
Doesn't synthetic just make you think like robots now, though?
yeah.
So it's like they're just pushing it even more to be like synthetic. It's synthetic. Your identity is synthetic.
Yeah.
Finding is working closely with. So they pushed for equal rights for gay and lesbians.
Yeah.
I didn't know they didn't have rights, but now they're working closely with techno medical complex, big banks, international law firms, trauma giants, and corporate power to solidify the idea that humans are not a sexually dimorphic species.
Which contradicts reality.
So fucked, dude.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to show you. Go back up and just look at the picture of that beautiful woman and just ask yourself.
Well, is she a woman or is she a synth? Do they call them synths?
I'm a.
Hey,
did you ever see that? What there was that TV show?
Yeah, they call them synths. What
Was it?
that?
Yeah,
Oh
I forgot
no,
what
it was
called.
that movie. It was that movie.
What movie?
What
No, there
that
was a
fucking
TV
movie?
show though. There was a TV show where they got like that. They got robots. They looked exactly like humans, but they were called synths. And then the dad ends up fucking their like nanny robot. I mean, she was pretty hot.
I didn't see this at all.
Oh man, I'll look it up.
So he does like a gender type deal, like
Synths show. I thought it was just called. It was called Humans.
Dude, where is this? No, there was a movie. Fuck, what was that movie? Jess, if you're on here, tell me that movie name.
Jess.
Okay, I mean she wasn't that hot, but yeah.
Okay. All right.
The Creator. That's what it's called. Everybody needs to watch the movie The Creator.
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw that. I was thinking about watching it.
It was actually really good. It
Really?
wasn't like I think it wasn't American based, so it was like a very interesting different
Kinda
perspective
decent.
on the East versus the West. It was a very fascinating experience. It's a 2023 movie. The
A
Creator.
retired
Little-
lieutenant colonel in the fucking national Army National Guard,
Wow.
and the father of 3 children.
Dude, what craziness.
I am now a woman. Like, no, dude, you just fucking. But look,
Wow.
look. Okay, look. He helps fund various institutions. We've got Human Rights Campaign, where is it? WPATH. Remember that was that whole one recently where they were like trying to hide the fact that there was like negative outcomes for like the hormone replacement therapies and stuff.
Oh, dude, yeah. Because then if you have all these, and then you can take your billions of dollars and put it into that.
Like, isn't this a conspiracy?
Yeah. Dude, okay. Look at this. So their work together included conducting research on development in the field of early childhood education. Why are they doing
Definitely not how to teach kids to read.
No.
No, it's how do we brainwash
Sexual
fucking kids?
gender health, gender care. What the hell?
Gender creative children.
That's crazy.
Why don't we just have creative children instead?
Why do you have to be
Gender
creative with your
creative.
gender of all things? Like, be creative with
Right.
something that fucking matters.
So
And like, also, isn't it interesting how creative? Go back up real quick.
up to where?
Go up all the way. Picture. Look at that. Look at that beautiful woman. Is
Very
there
creative.
anything creative about that outfit?
Very creative. Look at the
That,
scarf.
necktie.
I don't see you wearing
Yeah.
a scarf.
Like, if she came out with
Synthetic.
like fucking you know,
Like a Jaguar ad.
crystal shoulder pads and fucking like angel wings and like crazy like robotic like claws and shit, I'd be like, that's fucking creative. But this is like, you look like a fucking like secretary at a law firm. There's nothing creative. It's like, that's what makes you feel good? Looking like that?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
They own the Hyatt hotels or what? Okay.
apparently.
Interesting.
One of the wealthiest families in the United
Jacob,
States, dude.
but
You can have all the fucking money in the world and your brother's still going to turn into a woman.
Okay, no, I get it.
The
now.
genealogy.
I get it. I get it. We don't have to
You
look
going
any
into
further.
genealogy?
We don't have to
Whoa,
look any further.
what?
Don't look there. Don't look there. Don't look there. Don't look there. I was just,
Hey, look up Boris Johnson.
Oh no, we don't have to look up.
Boris Johnson
He told us.
openly
He told
admitted
us.
he's Jewish.
And I was like, what?
I didn't know this. I did not know this.
He had the crazy hair.
Did England know this?
You don't have to go to it. We'll get to it.
Well, it's in here somewhere.
Sandro's having a meltdown right now.
Here it is. Here's
Oh,
Boris
here it
Johnson.
is. There we go.
Because I am Jewish and I'm proud of it. And that's really important right now. Because I know that recent years have not been easy ones for British Jews. In the media, on the streets, and particularly online, anti-Semites have in alarming numbers been emboldened to crawl out from under their rocks and begin once again to spread their brand of noxious hatred far and wide. When the Maccabees drove the forces of darkness out of Jerusalem, they had to do so on their own.
That was a
Today,
story.
As Britain's
The Maccabees.
Why is there a Christmas tree and a menorah?
Because
Well, the menorah's in front
Jewish,
of the Christmas tree.
and he's
So,
proud of it.
I also want my presents.
I like how he said,
You can't double dip, man.
Yeah, you got 8 days of presents. You can't get a whole another Christmas tree of presents. Come on.
Jeez.
I didn't know he was Jewish though. I didn't know. Also, why is he talking? He's not a prime minister anymore. Like, do they do other things after they're prime minister? It's not like our
Make
president where it's
videos.
like they retire after that.
This is crazy,
I don't know,
man.
All right. Anyway. Oh, apparently though, he wasn't actually just Jewish. He used to be Muslim. Back
What?
here. His father wore one of these hats.
What?
You know those?
Like a Turkish
Grandfather, sorry, grandfather. Then
Turkish
his father.
Muslim, yeah.
That's his father actually. Great
But
grandfather.
it was through the female that he's Jewish, right? So
I guess
Irene
so.
Williams.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
they're only showing the father part, not the female part.
Yeah.
They're only showing half.
That's true.
Interesting.
That's true. So maybe it was
Anyways,
a-
yeah.
anyway.
Wow.
What else we got going on here? Americans are about to learn how to maintain their own lawns, clean their own house, make home repairs themselves, grow a home garden.
Cameron, you're ahead of the curve. Holy
Cameron.
shit.
I don't know.
I like how some of the comments are like, I already do all those things. I was like, clean my house, cook my meals, do my laundry, clean up after my dog after walking her. They're really wanting to keep their slaves, aren't they? There's another one that was saying like the leftists are upset when it's like something about like immigration. Oh, when immigration is going to affect their bank account. Like, oh, well, now they're not actually upset about immigration and like all that stuff. It's like, oh, well, McDonald's is going to cost you a lot more. Your fruit and veggies are going to go up. They're going to skyrocket. It's like, oh, so you're actually okay with slave labor when
Yeah.
it benefits you.
Right. Now that it's expensive slave labor.
Yeah. Oh, this is Andrew Yang. What do you think about this? Andrew Yang, all the comments are like, no UBI.
People will get lazy and unproductive,
Yeah.
while lower taxes will incentivize people to work more.
Yeah.
Why do you need people to work more?
Because the robots that take our jobs are gonna make us.
There ain't gonna be any fucking jobs. Like Andrew Yang is right. He's also fucking retarded in a lot of ways, but
He is. Yes. Let's see what else we got going on here.
UBI. If it's unconditional, then what's the problem? Like, why not have everybody not have the pressure of having to survive? They worry about their groceries. All those people are just robots. Why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you? That's just the spitefulness. No, otherwise people can be lazy. Show me what you fucking produced. Show me the thing you fucking creatively produced this fucking week that makes a difference in fucking reality. All you did was fucking go to your job and be told what to do and get your paycheck and go home and fucking masturbate to OnlyFans and fucking watch Netflix. That's all you fucking did. You didn't do anything.
And I did it for my family.
Facts.
Yeah, this I thought was crazy. This 30-year-old man, immigrant,
oh yeah, dude,
did not receive a prison sentence for abusing a 15-year-old girl and only was fined $3,000. But then a German citizen who wrote a letter that said that the judge was clearly mentally disturbed for allowing that to happen, for allowing this person to get off with just, a fine, was fined almost double, $5,000, 5,000 euros. That's pretty insane. Like, but we were talking about this of how anything that's written in like legal speak, people will just accept. Like, the laws make no sense. You know that there are a bunch of laws out there that make no fucking
No, dude,
sense.
I read the German criminal code. It says it's illegal to insult people.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Like, clearly that wasn't thought through.
No, it was thought through. They are trying to control you. That's purely.
Yeah, but I
People
mean,
are acting like the laws are meant to like make your life better. No, it's to control you. That's the point of it.
Well, there you go. There you go. But like, people will just accept that because it's written in legal speak. It's like, I don't understand that. No. It's clearly there for a reason, and somebody higher up came up with it because I couldn't come up with that. That seems really complicated. The way they wrote that.
What are they going to do about it?
Nothing.
Right. There's nothing they can feel like they can do. What's this?
Hello, Barbara. Sorry to interrupt your team meeting, everyone, but Barbara, we just wanted to deliver a special award for you. You are the BBC Women's Footballer of the Year 2024! Congratulations!
There you go, man.
Guys, I think I'm just dedicating this award to every one of you guys who has been there for me. And I have nothing much to say. Just thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's kind of unfair.
So that was
Maybe
a guy,
Barbara is
if
a
anyone
woman?
doesn't know.
Maybe Barbara sounded like a woman.
Sounded like a woman. She's Zambian. Plays in the U.S. Plays for the Zambian national team as well.
So is it female?
Hang on.
Did I get fake newsed?
Okay, moment of truth.
I don't know. Looks very. Orlando Pride. Plays for Orlando Pride.
Zambian professional women's not okay. Keep going. Look at it.
Yeah, we got to go down.
Maybe it's just a very.
Maybe it was just really racist because she looks like
she played with the boys. She didn't have a girl.
I just Google is Barbara transgender? Is Barbara synthetic?
So, like I said, she played with the boys. Something seems weird about this. I wonder if this is one of those sort of like that boxer where it was like, oh no, it's actually a girl. It just seems like a boy, and then you dig into it more. It's like, no, it's actually a boy that they just raised as a girl.
This is for trans. Barbara banned a cis soccer star. What? Soccer star Barbara Banda attacked by transphobes. She's cis, it says.
She's a sister.
The story is by them.
Maybe it's just a woman.
Cis Zambian athlete.
I don't know. Something weird about it.
Yeah.
Something weird about it.
I don't know.
Something weird about it. Definitely sounded like a woman when she started talking, but
she did.
Yeah, see, it's just that's the world we're in right now. You can't fucking tell.
I don't trust them.us. Pink News. Okay, all right. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, Yahoo Sports will have the answer.
Yahoo Sports will?
Yeah.
Okay, so why did J.K. Rowling say she was not a woman?
Who even
Oh
knows?
shit, dude.
Rowling said it.
Hold on. Something's going on though. New York Times 2022. It says the sad, confusing case of Barbara Banda, just 22, was a breakout star of last year's Olympics, but cannot play in the current WAFCON due to gender verification tests.
Oh, would fail gender verification, although she underwent one based on high levels of testosterone. Why does she have high levels of testosterone?
I would not be surprised if this is one of those situations where it's actually a boy. There was something at birth, weird.
Yeah.
So they decided to raise her as a girl.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, clearly it's a male. Scroll back up. Which one is that in that picture? Oh, the one on top. See, the no breasts, something weird.
Yeah.
It's like that, was it Turkish? No, Algerian boxer, remember?
Yeah.
Where then you more information comes out, higher levels of testosterone.
Yeah.
Something weird. See, the problem is they're like, oh no, it's a girl. It's a girl. But how do you know that?
Right. Well, she was raised as a girl. Okay. All right.
So I don't know. I actually don't know.
Okay.
But,
We're gonna.
I mean,
chalk
I
that
don't
one
know.
up
Like,
to
if you just
unsure.
ask anybody, is that a woman or a man?
Yeah. We're gonna chalk that one up to unsure.
Unsure. We'll put that in the unsure category.
Yeah, unsure category. Okay. But
but the Pritzker, definitely a woman.
Okay, so apparently this video was deleted.
The 100th woman in space, and everyone's just talking sexually about her.
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. Like why would she expect otherwise?
Well, you know what though? I don't look at that and think like anything sexual.
Yeah.
But
Like,
I
this
think
one
what
was
happened is, I think what's happening though is they're making a point about her being a woman.
Uh-huh.
So that's why the people are doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if you're gonna fucking she's the 100th woman in space. It's like, who cares? She fulfilled her lifelong
What
dream.
about this woman? Did she not count? Or was she 99th? Or
She's-
101?
Yeah,
She's
doesn't
101.
matter. She's not attractive. So,
Right.
what is the woman's name?
Dude, nobody knows. Calandrelli.
What is
Emily Calandrelli.
Calandrelli, American engineer,
Uh-huh.
science communicator. So it's just some propaganda shit.
Yeah, okay.
That's what's going on. It's just some fucking, yeah.
I don't know how she's like on her way down from space now. She's like in tears, like, okay, but like
I got to go to space, guys. Like, no, you didn't. You just fucking went up really high in a balloon, basically, and just
yeah.
floated
So she-
around for a bit.
So she read the
Free fall.
comments and started crying. Is she new to the internet? I don't know why she even cares.
She's called the Space Gal.
Space gal. Anyway, let's see. Oh, yeah, this is weird. What's going on in Canada, guys? Christine, talk to your family members. Canadian town forced to pay $10,000 to LGBT group. And I'm pretty sure this is like from Seinfeld, this image, right? Send mayor to re-education course because they didn't declare June Pride Month. What the fuck?
Yeah, nothing surprising about that.
No. All right. Let's see what else we got going on.
I have to keep looking. Drake, you should close that
you
other
could literally
tab.
cause that
I'm
tab.
trying to see that.
Also you can hit anyways, you can hit Command W.
I just want to like keep
There we
looking
go.
at it.
It's
every
good.
once-
If you hit Command W, it'll close a tab.
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm just saying, no, it will close a tab.
I believe you, but I'm not gonna do it. I trust
Drake
you.
wants to have that open for some reason.
This is the whole Arla thing.
Yeah. Basically, Bill Gates, which we showed you guys last week, and I wish I had that clip to pull it up again. But Bill Gates saying, the cows.
You could just say it. You don't have to do an impression.
The cows.
You could just say it.
They have methane. Anyway, Bill Gates saying how the cows give off methane and they just fart all the time. And we got to do something about that because otherwise, we're gonna have greenhouse gases. Here we go. Here's Bill. Here's Bill still talking about.
Here, in that the opportunities exceed the things you have to give up. You have to give up a large part of the, and eventually almost all of the coal mining activity. What happens with beef? My climate group, Breakthrough Energy, just announced literally today an investment in an Australian group called Ruminate that helps cows not be so much a source of methane emissions. So we have two paths to solving that. That's 6% of global emissions are cows who burp and fart methane to an extreme degree. You can either fix the cows to stop them doing that, or you can make beef without the cow. And both of those, will be pursued to see which one can lead to the best product in terms of taste, health, and cost.
My profits.
Yeah.
Cost. Yeah, he said, and cost. Yeah.
Cost. Right. Like,
what cost? He's like,
fun.
well, if people get sick and over time, and you need vaccines and drugs, that's just a cost I'm willing to pay.
And apparently, it also interferes with fertility.
Dude, this is so fucked up, man.
Right?
Yeah, it's so fucking retarded.
Look, the greenhouse effect. Apparently, methane is less than 1%. Less than 1% of greenhouse gases. So when he's saying 6%, like, how is he calculating this? And also, like, it's so ridiculous. Like,
this is the guy who brought you Windows, so.
Yes, it is the guy who brought us Windows. Okay. What else we got going on here? Let's go back to this one here. Bovaer. So that's his company, basically, where they inject these cows or they feed these cows this? What is it? This one is the feed or the injection?
I think so.
And I think
I
this
don't know,
is the
but if you
feed.
handle it without wearing the full PPE, it's harmful.
Yeah, apparently it's not good for humans. So great. Anyway, but apparently they're also mixing this into, now that it's not selling, they're just mixing it into other milk supply.
Because they gotta make their money.
They gotta get rid of it somehow. So I was like, oh well, now you get to also enjoy this secretly. It's pretty messed up. PETA.
Drake, why do you keep that one open?
You can just close it.
No.
You can just close the tab.
No.
Also, if you go to the left, if you just go to the left and you close it, you'll just go to the next one. You're creating more.
This I wonder who came up with this. PETA came up with this? Okay. Why did they make the guy look like this?
Dude,
why is it an interracial couple?
Why is it so sexual? Like, it seems like it's more of a sexual thing.
Why? Look, she's biting her lip.
Yeah, it's really sexual.
No, they're trying to look at the caption. It says, if it feels wrong, it's because it is.
If stuffing a turkey feels wrong, that's because it is.
That's like trying to argue that it's like you're trying to say like murder is wrong by implying you want to have sex with the dead body. Like, that's not why you did the murder. I'm not stuffing the turkey because I want to fuck it. I'm gonna eat it.
Why'd they make this area so red? Like,
they're
really
They know
like
exactly
making
what
this
they're doing.
super sexual.
100%.
Okay, all right.
Look, but also that
They're
guy.
busy focused on this instead of cleaning up after the North Carolina thing.
Something about that guy.
Oh,
He
no,
looks
sorry,
he looks like he would do this.
Yeah, that's kind of. Dude, she is like finger banging that turkey. Look at her. She's like, I want you to stuff my turkey. They should just go bang and then eat the turkey.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at the dog going, what?
The dog's like, I want to eat that.
Yeah, seriously. The dog's like, how dare you do that? He's like, stop trying to do sexual stuff and just let me eat it.
The comments are like, you're just making it weird.
Yeah, somebody should have commented, hey, I don't think the dog would be against them eating it.
Right. Where was it? Oh, here it is. What is a natural human diet?
Someone's like, we've literally done that forever. They're like, what's the natural human diet? And I just like the community note on it.
But it's like you wouldn't see a dead animal on the side of the road and then feel
Right.
tempted to snack on it. It's like
And then they're like, no, but that was the point why I said this, because it said on the community note, avoiding roadkill reflects culture, not diet.
Yeah.
Because there are people like other cultures where they would do that. Like if
For
it was
sure.
like fresh, yeah.
You're like, oh, that's food on the side of the road. Come on. Craziness. All right.
God damn it.
See, now you guys are getting it. Now you guys are getting it. Dostoevsky. This is too long. I'm not going to read it. But
That was more for you guys than
no, this is
podcast.
great. I liked it.
That's pretty good though.
Okay. Sweden banned all religious schools, but not Jewish schools. Really interesting.
Maybe they just didn't get to it yet.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Sweden, aren't they one of those places where like people are like, they have the best schools in all the world, blah, blah, blah.
I think that's Finland.
Oh, that one too. Yeah. Oops.
It's like, I don't give a fuck how good your school is. Fuck school.
Okay.
And after a nice day of hard work, I just want to relax and watch the brand new television season adaptation of the hit video game Halo. Can't wait to see how many alien master kills this up. Oh shit.
Craziness. Like, but I mean, it just goes to show you, when it's the same reason why, we don't impulse our kids with Disney and shit like that, because those characters are then manipulated to be like, okay,
Right.
now you listen to this, now you do this.
He was telling me there was a sci-fi book she was reading. Oh yeah, because I bought Forever War by Joel Haldeman. And it's like an old book, relatively speaking, like 70s, I think, right? And it's like an anti-war book. And she said, but it's about like the future, obviously, and everything. And they're going to like fight some aliens. And she said it's like all got the transgender stuff in it and the pronouns and everything, like back from the 70s.
Mhm.
So I thought that was kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'm just reading the comments. Katie says, this is a while ago, but Germans aren't allowed to write letters now. Let's see. What else we got over here? Shelby wanted to see if she was intersex. Okay.
That's what there's something going on. But it just shows you the best footballer of the year is not even close to looking like a woman.
Right.
So even if it is a woman, it's still like more like a man.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, interesting. The more close you are to being a man, the better you are at sports than other women. Amazing.
Yeah. Katie said retard. I don't know if she was talking about me or not, but
It was when you were trying to do that Bill Gates impression.
maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Well, I guess we'll never know. We'll never know. Anyway, did we read this one already? We read this one. Let's go to the next one. Oh, this is a good one.
We can't. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, this was wild.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy. If this is happening autonomously, which I assume it is, like
Yeah, for anyone
I
who's
don't see why they would be showcasing
If
it
you're
if it
just
wasn't.
listening, you're missing out. What can I say?
I don't
This
know
is
though.
just a robot.
They could still be teleoperating it,
it could be,
and they're just showing
which
off
would,
the
which would
hand.
also be impressive. Which would
Right.
also be
I
impressive.
want to see like a montage of like 200.
They're just showing off the hand, maybe.
Maybe
Because
I don't know.
the autonomous part is less impressive than the engineering of the physical thing.
Right.
Because
Right.
once you just put enough AI into it, I'm sure it'll be autonomous.
I'm just saying the hand-eye coordination, even if it was teleoperated, like the
Dude,
hand-eye
imagine
coordination is
sports.
pretty amazing. Yeah, dude.
Imagine sports where you're like in this machine and you're like,
And then
and
people
then
are
it's-
going to be like,
no,
is
and
this
it's literally like
is
they're
this a
killing each other and shit.
trans
Like they have
Is
chainsaws
this a
and
trans
like.
athlete, or is this? No, I think this one's human. No, I don't know. Like that's what it's going to be,
Yeah, I don't know if I couldn't find anything saying whether it's real or not, but no, I don't think anyone would know.
Okay, next one. This
Killed a
this I
banker.
found. Yeah, okay. So in China, they've sentenced the former Bank of China chairman to death. They sentenced him to death. And the reason for it was because apparently he was found guilty of taking bribes of basically just 16 million. I'm saying just 16 million because I know that there are politicians.
But he also approved illegal loans worth
Okay,
$3 billion.
but still only 190 million yuan, which 121 million yuan is 16 million. So that's what?
Yeah, but you have to wonder also though. You have to also wonder is there anything else going on?
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is it just that, or is that what they were able to get him on? And this is happening all the time.
Yeah.
They make it seem like it's oh, look how base China is. They don't fuck around with bankers and shit. And you're like, maybe, maybe it's just they maybe he did do those things, and then he pissed somebody off. Who knows?
Okay. No, makes sense what you're saying. But I think we should bring some of that here. I think that'd be a good idea. This one. That was
this one was pretty crazy.
So how much of this did you read? Did you read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Basically, let's for an update for Mitchell. Kid wore a shirt to school, said there are only two genders.
I saw that part.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we can read.
And I was like,
I didn't know.
Damn, I gotta get rid of that shirt of mine.
And then so the judge asked the school
lawyer.
Are
you going to school?
Apparently the judge was arguing with the lawyer, I guess. He said, what if the shirt said male is not a gender? And the lawyer said, the administrators would have to think, well, is that attacking a core identity? Probably not. Male is not a gender.
That doesn't make sense.
Boy's lawyer argued the school was not inclusive to him when he called his views hateful. No one was saying, and the judge, no one was saying his gender didn't exist.
Wow, it's just like word battles. It's like rap battles,
I don't understand that point though. Who is the judge arguing against?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Is the judge? This is very confusing. The First Circuit ruled for the school, so the boy wants a Supreme Court review. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, that you can't wear a shirt that says there are only two genders. What? Well,
but you could wear a shirt that says something like, they're trying to argue. Like if I wore a shirt that said, male is not a gender, that's what's weird. So you can deny that exists, but and what does it matter if you said someone doesn't exist?
Yeah, it's like,
if I wore a shirt that said Drake doesn't exist, like, are you is that affecting you somehow? It's like you're literally genociding him.
It doesn't say anything about their existing. You don't exist is a perfectly valid statement in free speech. The idea that we owe people validation of their ideas is insane.
Yeah, what if the shirt said there's no God?
Yeah. Yeah, right?
It's like, well, that wouldn't be appropriate in a school. Wouldn't that be the place? Like, where you would discuss these things? It's like, no, we need to take religion out of this discussion in school. And it's like, what are you learning about then? Just the stuff that would reinforce your little narrow memorization to get a job at a pharmaceutical company.
Nearly half of master's degrees program leave students financially worse off. Who would have thought?
No. College is a scam. Let's fix that. Yeah, don't go to college.
Yeah, let's just end college.
I mean, like if you spent a year learning some really cool shit that actually was applicable, that'd probably be cool. I don't have a problem with that. Like in itself, like at a level of college, at that level as an adult, maybe. But honestly, you could learn so much more of that shit if you just had a high vocabulary as a kid. You could have just read all the fucking books. So by the time you would get to college, it would be a whole nother level, you know, of what could be possible. So the problem is what Charlie Kirk is saying. They're still thinking in the terms of like, you should be learning this stuff when you're 18. You should be learning that when you're 12.
Yeah. Yeah. And then imagine getting together with a whole bunch of other people who have studied it as intently as you have and like have all that background. And then just like, it would be like what a PhD, no, not even a PhD, like beyond a PhD, and just being with other highly knowledgeable experts, because that's definitely,
you can just be creative. Again, because they don't know how to make kids actually creative, then they're like, they have to be gender creative.
You can be creative like this.
That's creative.
That's really
look at that.
creative.
Look at that necktie.
I mean, it's really creative. This is what I was talking about before. The doctor who's like, I can't tell you how tragic this toxic take is, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it's so dishonest.
So obesity is a disease.
I mean, somebody replies to him and is like, hey, but what about in 1970s when there was no obesity, or at least way less obesity? And he's like, well, something else was going on then. I don't know. Somebody says it in the comments here, but it's a really dishonest way of arguing, or just like he just stops at there's something unconscious in the brain. We don't know what it is. So you're discounting all that. So now, ergo, these people need Ozempic. Like, what? How about we solve the unconscious thing that caused them to become obese in the first place?
It's like, you're a doctor. I don't trust anything you're saying.
Right. Going back to ivermectin stuff. Oh, look, there's the recipe right there. There's the recipe. I'm not saying I'm not a doctor, so
I don't know if any of this works. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of these people are also doing chemo at the same time.
yeah.
Again, I'm not saying chemo works either. It's just,
Right.
it's interesting to me.
It is very interesting, and I don't know. If I were in that position, I think I would give it a shot. I mean,
not?
what would it hurt?
I probably wouldn't do the chemo.
Probably not. Okay. This is again talking about that Ozempic. Just like, yeah, and this is why we need to do it.
$1,600 a month.
1,600 a month.
And apparently they're saying in other countries it's like $60 a month.
Right. Like, how does that make sense? How can we accept that? How can we accept that? Why wouldn't we, like, where was that thing that Trump had said about BRICS?
Oh, about the US dollar
those-
right there, yeah.
There it is. Boom. The idea that BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over. We require a commitment from these countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs. Why is that not the case for this Ozempic thing? I'm like, wait a minute. You're charging us how much when you're charging everybody else 60? Like, isn't that there's a word for that? That's like basically like you can't charge somebody for the same exact product an extreme different price or whatever.
Yeah, I know what that's called.
I forgot what it is, but basically like it's pretty fucked up. Like
But clearly it's allowed, actually.
But yeah, clearly it's happening. It's happening. So why don't we just stand up to it and be like, all right, we're not participating in that. It's kind of like, when you go to like a third world country and they'll have, like, if you go to Mexico or something, they'll have in Spanish, like, it costs this much, but in English, it's like, it's double that amount. Or I saw this thing in Japan, in Japanese countries or Japanese restaurants, it'll say, sorry, we're at full occupancy. And it'll say that in English and it'll say that in Chinese. But then in the Japanese kanji, it'll say, if you can read this, we're open, come on in. It's like, that's basically what's happening, but with money here. We're being overcharged for.
Yeah, it's like if you're a fucking dumbass American who just accepts everything that you see on the news, then yeah, you got to pay. You got to get your government to tax you to pay for your fucking weight loss drugs.
Right.
Dude,
so that
how
your
old is
government
that banana.
No,
I think
they
it's a
probably
fresh one.
he literally put it on there just now.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about this a long time ago?
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting of the point of the guy's a crypto entrepreneur and he literally spent $6 million to do that.
What's he saying?
He's like,
is this an
比别的香蕉好吃多了。
is that Chinese? I thought he was gonna say something in English. All right, there's that. Let's see, go back here. X out of that one. Oops. Oh, this I did not know. This was news to me. John Wilkes Booth, the guy who assassinated Abraham Lincoln, apparently
that woman in the purple dress isn't saying anything. Are they that transfixed on the play? It must have been a good play.
Yeah, what play was it?
I forgot the name of the play.
What play was it?
But John Wilkes Booth was like a famous actor of that day. I remember that. And
why would a famous actor, Edwin Booth, John Wilkes Booth's brother, Edwin, told by Isaac Mayer Wise, what did it say? That their father was okay.
Yeah. So apparently there was a community notes, and then that community notes was wrong. Yeah. Just so you know. Do you think the IRS budget should be expanded, the same, decreased, or
Click the
deleted.
thing. Okay.
I think most people don't want to pay the IRS.
Who the
I
fuck is saying decreased? Who is saying increased?
This is cool. This is cool. I read through some of the comments, and the comments were like, maybe it's a made up story because it's on Gone Wild or whatever.
I don't know, man. Like, just test it out for yourself. See, try it out.
Yeah.
Call some people and see what happens. Get it to talk.
Get a list of all the daycare owners and be like, hey, are your kids struggling with this, this, and this?
I don't know how you prompt it and so forth, but like,
but it does make sense that like the idea of it saying that it's.
I don't understand what it means though. I gave it the most basic script ever. Hey, are you thinking about selling?
Yeah, because it's a real estate thing.
I know, but what does that mean? I gave it the most basic script ever.
So basically, hey, are you thinking about selling? Like instead of like trying to make it like a, oh hi, we're calling because of
he told it to just say that.
Yeah, like
and then it went from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I was trying to understand what he meant by that. No, okay. That's what he told it to say.
Maybe that's what all these fucking robocalls. It's like every day I get like 8 of them. Shit's crazy.
Dude. And they don't feel like upset that you hung up on them. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Let's see what else. Oh, we saw that already. The Bover stuff. Nobody wants to buy it. This was interesting. Apparently, a gang of migrants was abusing a 12-year-old and recording it. And they even have it on video of her screaming stop. But then they basically blackmail her with the video recording to
like the fuck, man.
It's messed up. And many of them are not expected to receive a serious sentence due to their age because they're technically minors. They're like 17 years old. That's crazy. Like, obviously, regardless of immigrant or not, something has to be done about the culture that this is acceptable, that this is allowed to happen.
Spitefulness.
Well, it's not even just their culture. It's just all culture.
That's what I'm saying about the culture is what I meant to say. Right. Those guys again. Sad news. British Parliament votes to legalize MAID, basically. But how is this not expected? This is happening in Canada. Why wouldn't it happen in the UK?
I was just thinking they're going to eventually classify your support for like populism or right wing or this or that or whatever as like a mental disorder, and then they'll be able to justify just like literally suiciding you.
You know what I saw? I don't remember what I was watching, but it made me think eventually they're going to have some AI persona that's going to be like somebody saying like, oh, I'm so grateful for this maid service. Like after somebody dies, you know, after somebody uses that, they're going to say like, oh, I'm so grateful because it stopped my suffering and I needed this so much. And they're just going to continue using that to sell people on why this needs to stay in place.
Yeah.
Because people will be like sold on that story, even though it's like completely made up based on some real person. It'll be like, oh, it sounds so moving. It's going to be fake. But
I gave ChatGPT a simple script. Hey, what's so great about killing myself?
Yeah. And
just went from there. It was crazy how effective it was. It got like 15% higher closing ratio than I normally get.
All right. Let me speed through these last ones. I see you guys are saying it's time. It's time. Okay. Oh,
well, we'd already be done if you hadn't have to click that thing every time.
CDC just dropped its 2025 child vaccine schedule.
COVID-19 is on the fucking list now.
Wow.
For children from to
under 12 months.
They're like, let's just keep cramming them in there. It just shows you why they did the whole thing, just because they want to keep
26 doses. 26 doses. Somebody was saying if you think that 26 doses is not a lot, then you take 26 doses in a 12-month period.
Right.
You know?
It's insane. It's like, oh, it's just a baby. Who cares?
Right. It's yeah.
It's just a clump of cells.
I don't think they call it that after it's exited the womb.
Yeah, it's a clump of fucking vaccine cells.
That's crazy, though. That's crazy how many.
And all the other additives.
Yeah. We saw this guy. This is pretty funny.
What is he saying in it?
I wasn't aware of that.
I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
That was when like somebody what happened?
I think
forget
it was,
what the context was. Somebody
Ruth
got
Gator
killed.
Binzer,
Oh yeah.
She died.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I don't know the whole thing about Nick Fuentes. I think that's just like a smear on him, but
Yeah, I think so.
I also don't know.
But he's also kind of like.
But isn't it interesting this whole point with Destiny? All right, here we go.
A
A little
minute.
bit of phonics.
Minute. Bass.
We didn't even watch this.
Base.
I think we get the point.
Why don't I just speed it up?
No,
We
we
can-
don't need to do it. You know, there's such things as what are these called? When they're spelled the same, but they don't sound the
Not
same.
homophones. It's the opposite.
Homonym?
Not homophones.
Homonym. Homonym.
No. I think homonym is when the same word means different things. I don't know what that's called. I forget. But anyway.
Well, that would be the same word means different
Wind.
things. Oh, but like the other way.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, they are spelled the same. I was thinking they were spelled differently for some reason. Yeah.
Same spelling and pronunciation, but another word. Yeah, that's
Homonym.
it. Homonyms.
Homonym.
What does ad hominem mean?
That's a different.
That's a different homonym.
Oh,
That's
it's
a
not homonym, it's
homophone.
homophone. Okay, is ad homophone a thing?
Okay, this
That'd be funny. Like phonics. I don't use phonics because I'm trying to make a joke
apparently
about
this
homonym
building was
attacks.
closed. This Roosevelt Hotel was closed. up
It
till-
just shows you how corrupt the whole thing is, dude. The government of Pakistan owed a bunch of money, so they made a deal where they could rent out this fucking hotel. But it's being paid
for
with
illegal
taxpayer
migrants.
money. So they're being bailed out by the taxpayers in New York.
right when they owe us money, we give it to
It's
them.
so corrupted. Like because it's like you're up on the top and you're just moving money from one thing to the next.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just trying to keep it all moving.
Craziness. Where are
And
those
you gotta
immigrants
move out of
now?
that hotel real quick because it's getting sus in there.
All right, we got to go, but let's one last time. We need to see that JB Pritzker.
Yeah.
All right.
Synthetic. I think.
Yes.
I think he's synthetic in the title. Oh, we don't even know they closed it, dude. Watch it be like his wallpaper or some shit. Rick just secretly enjoys seeing that non-creative man.
All right. Well,
Well,
that
everyone,
was-
you can either choose to be spiteful, and then fuck yourself over and everyone in the world, or you can actually do what's best for all and do that for years and years and years. It'll be way better. So that's self-perfection.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mitch. Thanks for closing us out.
There you go.